On the brain, but it's hard to maintain with girls in the background. Yeah, curly hair and her skin's brown. She got an A cup, but that batch round. So I'll proceed. Dinner in the West End, 'cause there's no women Jen won't need. Hey, hey, big girl like a Del Sol, man. I said fire to the rain when I roll deep.
Let me take you up a level. Let me take you up a level.
Taking a look right now at the bracket for the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship. 3 teams have already punched their tickets to the semifinals. 1 spot remains. That is what we are here to figure out. Will it be Canada? Will it be Slovakia? One has their tournament end today. The other takes on Sweden for a spot in the finals. Hello, everyone, and welcome into this coverage of the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship. I'm Drew Goldfarb, joined, as always, by my good friend Nick DeMeo. Nick, we've had some exciting series to cover so far, and when we look at the one that happened just earlier today, if that's any indication of what we can expect in the last game of this round, we should be in for quite the treat.
I am ready for some dessert. I'm ready to say, and then there were 4, but before we can even do that, Drew, 4. There's our wrestling reference for the day.
Symbol of excellence.
Before we can even do that, Drew, we have a big matchup here today. One of the favorites going in against a really talented team. We're talking about Team Canada versus Team Slovakia, and I'm kind of excited because we have some names a lot of people know and some ones some people may not know, and at the end of it, both teams are trying to punch their ticket into that last spot in the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship.
And what a matchup this is. Canada already having to go through the U.S. in that opening round of 16. They picked up a nice 5-goal victory in that. Slovakia, meanwhile, played in the closest matchup we have seen to this point in the tournament with a 1-goal victory over Latvia to open things up. So the competition is there. Both of them having a big thing to deal with in that opening round. Canada, obviously, a rivalry with the United States, just when it comes to any kind of sports. That's always going to be the case. So to come away with that win over a rival like that, to open things up, always a big high to be entering round number 2 on. And then for Slovakia to be able to edge out that victory and advance when you were basically down to the wire. That is a situation where literally every goal in every game counted 100%, because 1 goal difference, we would have had a golden goal situation going on. We may have had a very different outcome and be talking about Latvia perhaps being facing the Canadians here. But instead, Slovakia coming up with that huge victory to move on. And this is going to be a matchup I'm very excited about. We've got 4 players that are incredibly talented on both sides here, on the PlayStation 4 and on the Xbox One side. This is just going to be a fun matchup, and looking forward to seeing who that team is that gets to move on to face Sweden in the next round.
Yeah, you look at what happened on how we got here. Yes, a Team Canada victory. The Canadians coming out 17-12. A little bit decisive. I think 5-goal lead in aggregate's pretty much a decisive victory if you're really looking at how we've broken down the past couple of games we called and what players have to do in this somewhat different format. You look at the other side, like you mentioned, Slovakia eking out a win by 1 goal. And I think if you're Team Slovakia, you look back, you've watched all the coverage up to now. You've kind of seen all these teams get blown out, and you go, well, look at that. We fought really hard to get to where we are here today, and now we have a really good chance of surprising Team Canada, who are probably one of the favorites next to Team Finland to really walk away with the championship in this tournament. And they could really pull up what I think would be an upset in this series.
Absolutely. But you can also look at it if you're Slovakia and you go, Canada, both of their players split their matchup against the United States in that round of 16. So each of these guys, while unbelievably talented, you might be able to pull out a W against them. They have had, the United States did pick up a win against them in each the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One sides of that matchup. So it's a situation where you might be giving yourself a little bit of a confidence boost going in, where you're going, yeah, they split. And yeah, I mean, the wins that the U.S. had were just complete domination, or that Canada had were complete domination. 5-0 and 7-2 were their victories over the Americans in round number 1. But the Americans were able to pick up a couple of wins. They were able to go 2-2 in that series. And if you're Slovakian, you can keep it close, keep it tight, as they did in round one. You earn that series split, pick up a win on Xbox, pick up a win on PlayStation. You're looking at a situation where you might be able to knock out one of the favorites in this tournament here in the second round.
For those that are new to our coverage, first and foremost, welcome. But if you're new, you haven't been really following what Drew and I have talked about over the past now 8 games that we've called together, is that game management. We have 12 periods you're working with, and you're effectively playing 6 of those 12. So you as a person on Xbox or PS4 has to walk out each period +1. You just manage the period, and you can walk out +1. And it sounds simple, and it obviously is not. But that's the mentality you kind of have to approach when you look at an aggregate series. You have to do your job and not worry about what you think your teammate and their opponent might do. You just got to worry about your stuff, get your job done, do your part as a teammate, and make it a little bit easier for your counterpart this way on the Xbox side to do their part, right?
Exactly, because there is no such thing as garbage time in an aggregate series like this. You could be down 4-0 in that first game or that second game, but if you get one goal, you end up being -3 instead of being -4, and that will help you claw back. And it may be a situation where something like that, the difference between being -4 and -3 after one game is that if you are +1 in each of the last 3, you tie. If you're -4 and you're +1 in each of the last 3, if you win 2-1, 5-4, and 7-6 in the last 3, but you lost by 4 goals in the first game, your series is over. Your postseason is done because you end up as a -1. So every goal is going to count. It doesn't matter how out of hand an individual game gets, because if a team that's trailing can get a couple on the board in that final few minutes, or if the team that's leading can extend their lead, that is going to count for the series. It's not enough to just win 2 or 3 games out of the 4. You've got to score against your opponent. You need, for our American viewers, you need like BCS style points, like in college football. It's not enough to just pull off a win against NC State. You got to show that you're 4 touchdowns better.
That's exactly right. And as we looked at yesterday in the coverage, Mahoney not really coming out very strong against Bacon. Bacon was able to keep it pretty close as we got later into the game, and it looked like almost he had a chance to pull away, was +2, +3, and then cutting into that lead of 4 goals, and obviously, having the door shut down there. But he put up a fight, and that if that would have happened maybe a little bit earlier in the game or a little bit early in the previous game, the entire structure of what we might be looking at today could have been different. Nevertheless, though, we are here now, and we want to talk a little bit more about what's to come in this series, right, Drew?
Absolutely, because this is the last series of this round here in the quarterfinals, and we've got Canada, we've got Slovakia. We're going to be starting with the PlayStation 4 players. Josh Fearless taking on Pheneman, which should be an interesting matchup when you're looking at a guy like Josh who split his series against John Wayne in the U.S. versus Canada series to open things up. Meanwhile, Pheneman looking for his first victory in an individual game, trying to get on the plus side of things after being swept by Latvia in both of the games that he played in that round.
Yep, exactly. So with that said, Drew, we have a great video from our good colleague Cam that we want to go to, right?
Absolutely. Let's check it out as we preview Canada versus Slovakia.
Canada versus Slovakia. In the round of 16, both of these nations gave us the most entertaining matches by far, as both countries, Canada and Slovakia,
And you're seeing there, this is the matchup on the PS4 side. This one should be interesting. Each of these guys had to go through a lot of opponents in order to qualify to represent their nation in this Esports Fan Championship here. 8 opponents fell to Josh Fearless in the Canadian tournament. And on the other side, 7 opponents fell to Pheneman. So he earned the right to represent Slovakia on the PlayStation side. Each of these guys has earned their way into this tournament and deserves that spot. And a lot of kudos to them as well. On the Xbox side, it's kind of a similar story as well when you're talking about the players earning their spot. When you're talking about Nuke for Canada and you're talking about Lady Brunette for Slovakia, who swept the round of 16 series against Snipe Selly from Latvia and really is put her team up enough. She won that first game 7-3, and that is really how Slovakia was able to advance.
7-3, a very victorious win, a decisive win, giving them that 4-goal buffer and really put the team ahead and allowed them to get that victory. And again, 1 goal is all that determined that that matchup, that decision. So that's all you really need as we look ahead to a little bit of a preview as to what the players are going to be playing as, Drew. This is round number 2 of this 3-round tournament before we get to the finals. And in that, we wonder ourselves, okay, Slovakia, Canada, obviously these teams would be playing as their national teams, but no, not the case, my friend. A bit of a chess match here as we look down below, and we'll see that Team Canada will be not playing as Team Canada. Instead, that will be Slovakia playing as Team Canada. And on the other side, an interesting choice by Team Canada, right?
I kind of like that. That's almost a bit of maybe a message going to the team that's already waiting in the next round. That would be Sweden. That's waiting for one of these two teams in the semifinals of this tournament. So to pick Sweden, I kind of like that. It's an opportunity where you're just going to be like, no, we have our focus set on this matchup. We're not looking ahead, but they used Team Canada in round 1 when they were taking on the U.S. That was actually a Canada versus Canada matchup, which was very interesting to see, each team deciding to go with the same national team for that series. But yeah, you cannot reuse a team once you have played as them in the bracket portion of this tournament. So with Canada already not available for Team Canada, Team Sweden provides them a decent option and may also send a bit of a message to the team that's waiting for someone in the next round.
Yeah, if they can win with the team that they're waiting upon facing, it does make a little bit of a statement, a small message, if you will. What you're also looking at here, and something we'll be pointing out as we continue our coverage today, are 2 notes. 1, the big scores at the top of your screen next to each country's flag represents the aggregate score, and you'll see that on screen as we progress through the games. Then underneath that is going to be the latest result from each of the games, both PS4 and Xbox One. So we'll keep you in the know of what it was for that particular game and then what that larger score looks like. And getting the goals and getting them early is kind of going to be key here, Drew, because we're looking at 2 teams from very far places away. Canada and Slovakia, I did not do the math, but it's several thousand miles apart, even more kilometers apart. And ping might be a factor here. It depends on who gets the host and the connection there. So something the teams are going to have to contend with, but maybe consider that the quote home ice advantage for some of these players and getting a feel for that quicker ice. I can recall a time in 2000, the Stanley Cup Finals, the Dallas Stars versus the New Jersey Devils, and the Devils were in Dallas. Triple overtime, and they could not skate on the ice because of the humidity outside. The ice was like slush, but Dallas players, being used to that at that time of year, were able to kind of walk away with a couple of wins. Nevertheless, Devils came out on top as Stanley Cup champions. That's aside from the point I'm trying to make, but they had a hard time in Dallas on that home ice.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see a bit of a home ice advantage in esports too, because you do talk about that, and even in day-to-day when you're not talking about slush ice, different rinks have the boards bounced different ways, and the home team gets that kind of advantage in that situation. So it'll be interesting to see if there is a factor in it, or what that does. The teams, though, these guys are skilled enough where they are going to make adjustments. They're always going to be making adjustments throughout a game, throughout a series when you're talking about something like this. So if there is something with ping, that's just another thing where an adjustment will be made by whichever team is not the host for this matchup. Because Canada, Slovakia, literal opposite hemispheres of the planet. So they're a little distance between the two, and that's if you've ever playing across country against my brother, sometimes it's you run into one thing or another. He's in Atlanta, or maybe I'm making an excuse because he beats me most of the time. But
that sounds more accurate.
Yeah, I beat him the most recent though. I almost retired from playing in the game after I beat him the last time. You teach him how to play video games, and suddenly he's beating you 20 times out of 21. But this matchup anyway. For Canada and Slovakia, we are getting close to getting underway. We're going PlayStation 4 first. So these are the the players you're going to see: Josh Fearless for Team Canada playing as Team Sweden, taking on Finomen, excuse me, for Slovakia playing as Team Canada. So always good to see if you can get that quick start to the matchup, if you can get a quick lead. Game 1 as crucial as Game 2, but if you can give your teammate on the Xbox side a lead going into their first game of the series, that is as good as you can do. And it's going to be a red versus yellow matchup. Going up on your screen again, wearing the yellow, is Josh Fearless, representing Team Canada, wearing Team Sweden. Going down on your screen, dressed in red for Canada, as you see Steven Stamkos in the corner, playing it back up for Pietrangelo, cross to Keith, quick shot, blockered away, nice save made there. But going down, dressed as Team Canada, is Finomen and Team Slovakia. So just remember, if you're getting confused, you can see the flags on your screen right above the EA graphics. As opportunity for Carlson here, one-time feed, and Gabriel Landeskog, just like that, has made this a 1-0 game.
The Czechs on the board early. Canada on the board early. Apologies there. Obviously, this Team Sweden controlled by Team Canada on the board early there with a rocket of a shot. Great start to this game. As just a couple of minutes into the first period, Drew, we have our first score, which is nice to see in some quick quarterfinals action.
And we're going to have, I believe, a hooking penalty coming against Finomen on this one, as we do have that whistle for icing. But yes, a hook indeed. So a 2-minute power play opportunity here for Josh, and an opportunity, but because of the icing, the faceoff comes all the way back. So doesn't quite get the offensive zone draw. Doesn't win the draw either, as Brent Burns will just circle with it. And a good job here by Finomen trying to kill off some time while he is shorthanded. Goes right to the boards, gets pinned, and then the puck taken away and moved on out. It is a 1-0 contest. We will see if it is able to be built upon by Josh here early on in the first period. A nice little steal of neutral ice. Now backing in, circling towards the corner and playing it back up top. Oliver Ekman-Larsson loses it. Good job on the steal there by Finomen as he starts it out. And a beautiful spin move to get away from some pressure, playing it back to Drew Doughty, and now into the corner, doing a really nice job of just taking off a lot of time on this penalty.
Yeah, great kill, a good response, if you will, towards that first goal. Again, it's just one, it's early, so a little bit of adjustment, like we said on that ice, what that connection's going to feel like. You get your legs underneath you, and then you're going to be okay. So big kill. I'm really happy to see Finomen respond with that, and as he controls the puck in the zone there for a second, kind of slowing things down, might be the name of his game here.
Bergeron in the offensive end now, but a turnover as Philip Forsberg is going to make that steal. And then a pass over to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Elias Pettersson skating in now on the near side, on the right side of your screen, stopping, pulling up as Brent Burns is pressuring him. Good job of just playing a little bit of keep away here, making some space out of nothing as Elias Pettersson in the corner, spinning back down low for Forsberg. Going to get away from the pressure. Poke checked very nicely by Marchand towards the corner. Then a D-to-D pass. Oliver Ekman-Larsson up top, trying to find some space, get away from McDavid, and Marchand splits the two, has an opportunity, leaves it back for Landeskog. Just complete puck control on both ends. It's either of these teams having the possession of the offensive end, just playing pure keep away. No rush to get a shot on goal, just trying to be very efficient with any shot they take. And here's Forsberg in down low. He pushes it on goal, but the save was made. He gets it right back behind, trying to center it. But Doughty with the intercept and back for Philip Forsberg, trying to wrap around, maybe looking for that centering pass. Another delay penalty is coming, and it will be another power play chance for Josh Fearless here, as it will be the second time in the first 12 minutes and 2 seconds that Josh and Team Canada, dressed as Team Sweden, go on the power play.
And going back to your point of that possession style hockey, we're seeing a lot of that. It's more of the classic European style of playing this game, more so in 6v6, but you're also seeing it in 1v1 when you have it available, making sure the shots you take are quality shots, and sometimes that does play to your benefit.
There's a rush shorthanded. That feed towards the slot was intercepted by Victor Hedman, and now started up by Erik Karlsson. On the rush, Karlsson to the backhand, turned aside. Steal by Karlsson, way down low in the low slot. That was a dangerous pass, just fed right to the slot area while shorthanded. Finomen, though, did not pay for it, as Josh just could not get the shot to go, just recovering that puck in the low slot on an errant pass from Finomen. But Finomen will be successfully killing off yet another penalty, as we're back to 5-on-5. McKinnon, fresh from the box, pinned up against the boards, forced off the puck by Karlsson, and now played on ahead for Landeskog. and Pedersen.
Oh.
Pedersen trying to feed it back. Ooh, that one just centering pass, I think, went off of the goaltender. Another penalty, and for the third time in the period, a power play chance for Josh Fearless.
A little bit sloppy here, and I don't know if it's a connection or not, but you can't be making this many penalties. You'll get the momentum boost if you kill this off, and that was a smart way to dive down and prevent that 2-on-1 cross ice feed, but you take another penalty there right after that, and you just cannot do that, especially against someone as talented as Fearless.
Shorthanded opportunity. Duncan Keith in the offensive end. His team shorthanded. Marchand centering feed for Crosby, and that slap shot was blocked by Victor Hedman and immediately cleared out of the zone. Pedersen, halfway through this power play opportunity. 0 for 2 so far. Circling around in that faceoff circle. Now up top, moving around, still at center. Pedersen gets a shooting lane, and he sends it on goal, but the save was made. Crosby along the boards, pressured, gets it out of the zone, but Erik Karlsson will make the intercept and now enter the offensive end. Trying to stay away from Duncan Keith. Karlsson, the defenseman, in the corner, moving around. Final 5 seconds of the man advantage. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, but still an opportunity on the one-time feed for Zibanejad, spinning on that rebound chance, but sent that one wide. Really good opportunity as that penalty came to an end, and now the tides will turn as it'll be Feeneman going with the man advantage for the remainder of this first period.
Feeneman catching 2 lucky breaks in a row there. First, the rebound chance did not go in, and then now a penalty, maybe a bit of a momentum shift. We'll see if he can capitalize on this chance.
William Karlsson taking the puck all the way across the opposing blue line before losing possession. And now setting back up for their power play is Feeneman. Neutralized turnover. Baxter making the steal. Now Karlsson, Erik Karlsson, with it right around the faceoff dot at center ice. Moving away from Crosby, trying to get through a couple of players, including Taylor Hall. Gets it up and now into the offensive end. Shorthanded chance, but they turn it over. And instead, they only turned it over because of a penalty taken by Drew Doughty. So we're now going to be skating 4-on-4 for the remainder of this period, and it will be about 1 minute and 12 seconds of power play time to open up period number 2 for Josh Fearless.
I can feel the adjustments taking place. I think this does have to do with getting used to the connection. I can kind of see the mistakes that Feeneman is making right now. See if he can recover from them in this 4-on-4.
Feed for Riley. 4-on-4 centering feed for Tavares, but that one intercepted by Victor Hedman and cleared out. Final 15 seconds of this first period. We are skating 4-on-4 until 1 second into the second period. Cross-ice feed for Lindholm, and that one was blocked. Ekman Larsson, final 2 seconds, centered for Backstrom, and he sent it wide at the horn. It is a 1-0 lead in favor of Josh Fearless after 1.
A 1-0 lead. And if that's any indication of how this is going to go, I think this could be between both gentlemen here today. Great offensive performance, but it was mostly special teams, Drew, for Fearless, as he had 3 power play chances. Couldn't bury any of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, special teams, the way it started, we thought, how would that not be a factor, as each team now combined for 4 power plays so far. No special teams goals. We've had some opportunities. We've had a lot of puck possession, both for the team on the power play and for the team that is shorthanded. And we will be 4-on-4 basically until the puck has been won on this faceoff, and then it will be a power play opportunity as Snoop Dogg joins us in the booth for this power play, apparently.
We need him on the power play, cuz.
Absolutely. Power play chance is for Josh and Team Sweden, dresses Team Sweden, but here while shorthanded, an opportunity for McDavid down low, trying to tie the game up, but fan on the shot lost possession a bit, and that one was sent wide, and the puck sent all the way down the ice. No icing on that play, but a really good opportunity here to kill it off. We're now back finally to 5-on-5, 1.5 minutes gone by in this second period. A rush for Feeneman. Drew Doughty, fresh out of the box, pushed off the puck, but takes it right back from Hedman. Doughty up top for Riley. Now across for Weber, back for Riley. Quick shot was blocked en route to the goal by Landeskog. Nice job getting in that shooting lane and just knocking that one down by Josh Fearless. But the pass up the board, trying to get it to the point, was a little off the mark and came all the way back down where it had to be played by the netminder. Pedersen re-entering the offensive end. 16 minutes to go here in period number 2. Pedersen trying to spin away from the attack, but McDavid picks his pocket, gives it up for Riley. Spins out of the zone, now up for Taylor Hall in the offensive end. Down low for Scheifele, back for Hall. That quick wrist shot into the glove and then dropped off as a nice save was made to keep this as a 1-0 contest. Mika Zibanejad in the offensive end. Line change here for the team dressed as Team Sweden. That would be Josh Fearless. Zibanejad in the offensive end now. Down low in the corner. Pressure by Crosby. Takes the hit, but manages to feed it ahead. Opportunity on the one-timer, and this is a 2-0 game. Raquel.
You could almost feel that goal happening just from the entry into the zone. Players were moving all over the place, and Josh Fearless, even with 125 millisecond ping, as you saw at the end of that intermission screen, is able to put another goal home, and that 2-goal lead is now looming. Could it be dangerous or prudent for Team Canada?
Quick turnover, an opportunity on that wrister, and that one ends up going wide. Puck played back out to center, and you can feel it a bit now. Josh Fearless buzzing a bit more now, having gotten that second goal. Getting a little bit more aggressive with the shot options that he takes, but here's a chance the other way. McKinnon maybe looking for that centering feed. He's pressed by two. Elias Lindholm giving the pressure, and then a quick turnover, and now Lindholm will skate it out. Crosses the red line and the opposing blue line. Petrangelo, a nice poke check. John Klingberg with it, spinning away from the pressure. Now getting down low, switching sides, or trying to with his fellow defenseman. Klingberg drawing a couple of players and makes the feed for that little one-time shot. Didn't quite get the speed on it I don't think he wanted as the save was made, and the puck is held for a whistle.
Bit of a floater there. Carey Price, though, had to reach behind him to make that save, so maybe because the goalie was moving, a little bit of a screen there.
Edmund gets the puck right off the draw, try to get that cross-ice pass, but there were two players in that passing lane, and now Stamkos exiting the zone and entering the offensive end. Sidney Crosby with it. A little bit of space, now trying to center it, but Erik Karlsson making the steal. Good job on the intercept. Drew Doughty trying to do the stick lift, cannot do it. One-time feed, it's 3-0, and that is yet another goal scored by Rickard Rakell.
And this is what we talked about going into the game, Drew, managing your periods, okay? So Fearless walked out +1 on period number 1. Now +2 so far in period number 2. If my math serves me correctly and the overlay on the screen is accurate, that is 3 so far in 2 periods.
Indeed it is, and these 2 goals in this period have been absolutely huge. You saw Feeneman went for that stick lift with Drew Doughty, and it ended up, because he missed, ended up resulting in a 2-on-1 opportunity. So try to make the steal, try to play a little bit aggressive, and it ended up resulting in an odd man rush that turned into the 3rd goal of the game for Josh Fearless. Again, there will be 3 more games in this series after this one. It is an aggregate score, so every goal counts. A nice spin move by Landeskog trying to center it on goal. Price making the save. They've been looking to bank it off of Price to get a rebound as Pettersson with the steal trying to feed Forsberg, but Petrangelo was there and made the intercept. Bank pass out of the zone, another one up for Taylor Hall. Final 4 minutes, 20 seconds of this middle period. Hall on that one-time shot turned aside, and the puck played to Karlsson, and now a long pass from Rickard Rakell. He's got 2 both in this period. Rickard Rakell spinning away, trying to get away from Taylor Hall. Loose puck, scooped back up by Rakell, and now in down low, getting behind the net, trying to wrap it around on the backhand. Zibanejad tried to poke it away as well as that puck came loose and not cleared out of the zone. Opportunity here. In the final 2 minutes, Pettersson picks up the marker on a beautiful feed to the slot, just rips the shot past Carey Price. It is now 4-0.
Fearless able to get some room there. If we look at the replay, headed out to the point, kind of center point there, and just picked to the corner. Great shot, great heads-up awareness by Fearless to go up 4-0.
And now, if you are Feeneman, you've got to be looking at this. There is no garbage time again. You're down 4-0. If you can make it a 4-2, but there's a bad turnover, and now a 5-0 game as Mika Zibanejad just really good positioning and an errant pass from the goaltender from beneath the goal line, and that is a crushing goal to give up.
Yeah, that I can almost feel the deflation from Feeneman not even seeing him play. You can't, that's just a bad mistake. In this round, in this area of the tournament, mistakes are costly. You just cannot make mistakes like that. And when you do so, bad things will almost always happen. They did so here. And as a player as talented as Fearless is not going to miss and put that one home.
Final 4 seconds of the period. William Karlsson down low, maybe looking for one last shot. They'll just hold it in the corner as we get the final horn of the period. 5-0 after 2, after a 4-goal frame for Josh Fearless.
+4 in that second period. Now you are 5-0 up in aggregate. That's a pretty comfortable lead, but like you keep mentioning, and we will always mention it, no garbage time, right? So he can't put his foot off the gas just yet. You want to make sure you give your team a comfortable lead, but also do your part to keep goals out of your own net for your teammate coming up in the second match.
And if you're Feeneman on the other side, you've got to try to get on the board. You've got to try to cut into this lead a little bit. You may end up as a minus after this game, going into game number 2. But again, as we mentioned going into this game, there's a huge difference between being down -5 or being down -4, -3, or -2. As Elias Pettersson trying to make that cross-ice feed, it was a little bit below his intended target, trying to extend that lead. Forsberg nearly had that shot, but well read and well played by Feeneman to make that intercept. Turnover in the offensive end, and now just spinning away with it is Victor Hedman, playing a little bit of keep away and doing a good job also of running down the time. Steven Stamkos eventually making that steal, gives it to Pietrangelo at neutral ice. Pietrangelo in the offensive end, trying to make that cross-ice pass. Carlson intercepted, accidentally sent it towards the corner, where Taylor Hall scoops it up for Team Canada, which is Team Slovakia in the tournament that we're having here. Opportunity in the offensive end, but we're going to have another penalty coming, another power play chance for Josh Fearless as a trip is called against Morgan Riley.
Another trip, another penalty. I think that makes 4 official power plays, even, and then that 4-on-4 that they had for a bit there. Not a good look for Feeneman right now.
Only one shot, though, on all the man advantages. There's the second shot on all of these power plays throughout this game for Josh Fearless. A 5-0 lead. We'll see if it becomes 6-0 on that centering feed for William Nylander. Still a chance, and that one cross ice back for Backstrom, and he ripped that one a little wide. 2 huge opportunities to try and pick up a power play goal. There was a third, but a good job that time by Feeneman getting in the passing lane and intercepting it at the last possible moment.
Withstanding the barrage so far from Fearless there in that little flurry of goal opportunities, but nothing came of it.
Doughty tried to get it down low for Tavares, but that one read and intercepted. Opportunity offensively. Zibanejad gets it to Nylander, eventually back for Zibanejad, and he shoots it wide. I think that was a situation of one too many passes on that last one. Here comes Zibanejad yet again, trying to go to the forehand and catch the goaltender off the post, but could not. Price was there. Back to 5-on-5 hockey, by the way. So nothing doing on that power play, but a few more opportunities and chances than we've seen on previous man advantages for Josh Fearless in this game. And another penalty coming, another trip against Connor McDavid this time. So just like that, back on the power play goes Josh Fearless.
And looking at this game, it's a lot different in 1v1. You have 4 lines, but only 2 units for your power play and penalty kill. The guys are going to be tired, and you're going to kind of see that here with now an extended power play effectively, Drew. They only had a kill for a couple of seconds there until we're back on the penalty kill. So fatigue's going to play a factor late into the game, and it's something to watch out for if he can convert any goals here from having tired guys on the ice for a majority of the game.
Brad Marchand trying to get it in deep with all that pressure, but turn it over, and now a little bit of a rush the other way. 50 seconds remaining on the power play opportunity here for Josh. What can he do? Will he be able to center this puck? He's trying to just spin away from Shea Weber, and eventually the stick gets in there and knocks it away, but it's taken right back by Josh in the high slot. Moving with it, pass to Victor Hedman, and that one unintentionally blocked by another player for Team Sweden in this game. So that one ended up wide towards the corner unintentionally, as we're now back to 5-on-5. Great stick lift and tie-up by Klingberg right in front, because that feed down low to Crosby could have been redirected. Weber's shot, blocked in the high slot, and now another penalty taken as McDavid, fresh from the box, goes right back in, that time for hooking.
A hooking, a trip, a hooking, a trip, and now another hooking. This makes way too many penalties, way too sloppy here. You just can't do these types of things in this stage of the tournament, and we'll have to see if he can kill off another penalty and then get 1 goal at least. You got to manage 1 here before the end of the game.
The biggest issue with taking all of these penalties, especially how grouped up they've been at this point in this game, is you've got to try to minimize how many goals you're going to be down at the end of this 60 minutes of play, the first 3 periods. An opportunity here on the power play. One-timer is blocked as Zibanejad again trying to rip one from right next to the faceoff dot. But when you're shorthanded for half of the 3rd period, you don't really have the opportunity to try and cut into that 5-goal deficit very much, as we're now back to 5-on-5 yet again. We'll see if we can stay at 5-on-5 for a little while here. Landeskog was in deep. We're there trying to make that steal on the stick lift. but could not take it away. Is now skating in is Feeneman in the corner, trying to get the first little bit of offense that he's had in this game in quite some time, as he spent most of the third period shorthanded, and we have 5 minutes remaining in the third. Final minute is real time. McKinnon trying to find Crosby, or excuse me, trying to find a teammate on that cross-ice pass, as we now have an icing with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in this contest. If you're Feeneman, you've got to just get on the board. You've got to cut the deficit, even if it's just a -4 after this game. You've got to cut into the -5 deficit at least a little bit right now.
Every goal matters there, and he has a great defensive kill. He's killed off a lot of these penalties, and that's played to his benefit.
Very aggressive with that stick check in this game, as we saw that yet again there. Did not cause a trip that time, but now a power play chance for Feeneman, as it'll be Landeskog going to the bench.
And with the power play, it does slow down time a little bit, so this is a benefit for Feeneman to get one here. You'll have a little bit more time on the clock to do something there, and then with the long extended real-time minute, you'll have a little bit even more time to try to get at least one goal here.
Stamkos down low, right behind, trying to center it for Taylor Hall, but the pass was blocked en route. Weber for Doughty, down low for Taylor Hall, centered for Crosby, read and poked away, and then stolen away by Josh, as he clears it out of the zone and all the way into the other end. Under 2 minutes to go now in period number 3. Crosby in the offensive end, trying to set up with this man advantage, feeds Doughty, he's got some space, tries to go down towards the slot, loses the shooting lane there. Now Stamkos, the backhander on goal, Scheifele trying to poke at the rebound, but could not get a hold of it. Carlson up for Backlund, and this penalty kill for Josh Fearless is now done, centered on goal and sent towards the corners. We're in the real-time final minute, a 5-0 lead for Josh Fearless here in this game, as he is going to pick up a win for sure in this first game of this 4-game series. But by what margin? Down low, trying to go to that forehand, but a really great aggressive play using the netminder there to dive out and poke it away. Still a chance for Zibanejad, and that one kicked away by Carey Price, held in the zone by Ekman Larsson. Ekman Larsson down low, pushed off the puck, and Feeneman finally clearing the zone up for Scheifele. Backs into the zone, slowing it down for Giroux, trying to tuck it in, and he missed the net by about 6 inches. Giroux down low, he gets tripped. It'll be a delayed penalty yet again. McKinnon with it, up top for Keith. Back for McKinnon and Duncan Keith. The extra attacker is on. Giroux down low, it's in the corner. Final 8 seconds. McDavid trying to make that centering feed for Scheifele as the puck is touched with 7.1 to go. So this game will conclude with a power play chance for Feeneman as he tries to get on the board before time expires. Draw one back to the corner and cleared out. It is a 5-0 final in game number 1 and a 5-0 lead for Team Canada in the aggregate, with 1 game down and 3 to go.
Only 4 shots there for Team Slovakia controlling Team Canada there in this matchup, and that's just not good. And it felt like Feeneman had his legs under him there for the end of that game. Felt like he finally had a good idea of what he was trying to do, but unfortunately too little too late there. And obviously Team Canada coming up with a handful, quite literally, of goals, giving him a 5-0 lead for his team and putting his teammate in a pretty good position for this next matchup, Drew.
And we saw, by the way, 10 total power plays between the two teams, divided 7 in favor of Josh Fearless and 3 for Feeneman in that game, including the 7.25 seconds to close out regulation and that contest. But the teams combined 0 for 10 on the power play. When you're looking at that, that means that we spent roughly, there was a little bit of 4-on-4 time, so just shy of 1/3 of the game with one team or the other on the power play. And we would expect that the teams maybe try to change that really on both sides, because even if you're Josh Fearless and you won a game like that, you don't want to be shorthanded 3 times the next time out. That's if you're trying to build on something and you want to work on something, you got to shut out in game 1. That's probably the one thing you're going to say, maybe I could be a little bit better on that in game number 3 when we go back to the PlayStation 4 contest.
Yeah, and if you flip it on the other side, if you're Josh Fearless, I don't know what else you could do. That was pretty much a perfect game other than 2 50-50 penalties where he just got a little bit sloppy on the stick there, the poke button. I think he played a pretty perfect game. If you think about it, a lot of control in the end. There's not much you can do to fix that, and you did your part. Like, I get a little bit of emotional about this, or uppity about this. I don't know the word there, angsty. I don't know, but like I want to make sure I stress that these teams have to do their part to set their teammates up for success. He did the gold standard of what we've seen so far in the coverage. A 5-0 decision makes it easier for Nuke to do his job later on here in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, and that game is coming up in just a moment, as we're going to have Nuke representing Team Canada taking on Lady Brunette representing Team Slovakia, the only woman that is in the tournament to this point, and she had a really successful round of 16, sweeping Snipe Selly from Latvia 7-3 and 2-1. And if we could see another 7-3 game in favor of Lady Brunette here in game number 2, when that comes up in a few minutes, this series would be basically nearly tied after the halfway point.
Yep, definitely. So we'll do that in just a little bit, Drew. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship. We'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome back as we are heading into game number 2 of this, the final quarterfinal series of this IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship tournament. We are having Nuke representing Canada take on Lady Brunette representing Slovakia. And for Nuke, he's getting into this game with a 5-goal advantage thanks to that unbelievable performance by Josh Fearless in game 1 on the PlayStation end.
It's almost like the backup quarterback comes in, you're up 5-0, you'll have a 5-touchdown lead. Okay, I'm good. I'm in a good position, except the difference here is, Nuke's not a bad player. He's one of probably the best 1v1 players in NHL, so you're in a good position to come out with more goals. But Lady Brunette, not a force to be reckoned with. She can do some great things as well, and we may see a little bit of that here today.
Nuke in the first round, in that round of 16, split his series against Daddy Padre, losing 4-5 in their first game, winning 7-2 in their second game. Lady Brunette, 2-0 so far in this tournament with a 7-3 and a 2-1 win in her matchups against Latvia. We are underway. This is game number 2. Again, going up on your screen in yellow, dressed as Team Sweden, is going to be Nuke, as he has offensive zone possession first. His shot blocked by Sidney Crosby. The team dressed in red, Team Canada, is Lady Brunette for Team Slovakia. That puck pushed right on to Carey Price. I'm just going to cover up and hang on for a whistle about 1 minute and 39 seconds into this contest.
This is going to be a true test of patience and discipline. I saw the ping, 242 milliseconds. It's going to be tough for this peer-to-peer connection, but this is part of it. When you're in this far into the tournament, you have to be ready to have anything thrown at you. This is now something they have to contend with, and the patience, not flipping that stick too early to poke the puck away or do a stick lift and turn it into a hook is going to be key and pivotal into success for these teams today.
Good defense there, but a quick turnover in the defensive end. And finally now, Lady Brunette able to clear the zone. Rush in here, and the puck just sent in deep. They're not going to give chase. A decent option there to just try to get back, seeing which player it was that she was leading that rush with and realizing she wasn't going to get to that puck first. So just retreating, allowing the defenseman to retreat and make sure there was no odd man rush going the other way. Puck held in just inside the blue line and now dumped into the corner. So here's an opportunity for Team Slovakia, but a turnover. A nice steal is made by Nuke, and the puck moved on ahead. Opportunity for Forsberg, rips that wrister and just beats Carey Price, high blocker side, and it is now 1-0 in the game and 6-0 in the series.
When you ring one off the post and it goes in, it's kind of what you hope for. It happened there, and another early start here for Team Canada to go up 1-0. And as I say that, though, taking a huge penalty as Lady Brunette was coming into the zone on an offensive rush there, taking a tripping penalty. One of the defenders are off, Drew.
Yep, it'll be Victor Hedman not available during this penalty kill as he sits for 2 minutes in the box. Lady Brunette wins the faceoff back as Sidney Crosby took that draw for her team. That cross-ice pass banked off the boards, chased down by Steven Stamkos. Stamkos trying to center himself, spinning away, saw that lane was closing up. One-time feed and a huge sliding save made, hanging on for the whistle with 1:22 left on the penalty kill for Nuke.
And that's not a save you see too often from any goalie, not Markstrom for sure. So that was a great slide. I don't know what happened there, if he maybe took possession of the goalie for just a moment. But wow, a great goal-saving attempt and effort there to keep the puck out of the net.
Couple really big opportunities so far on this power play for Lady Brunette as Crosby has it down low, now in the corner. Trying to pick a spot, maybe thinking about making that little cross ice sprint, trying to get right in front of the crease, but thought better, made that pass, but it was off the boards and now taken out the other way, sent all the way down. Final 10 seconds of the man advantage for Lady Brunette. She get another shot on goal here as we're back to 5-on-5, circling behind the net with it. That is McDavid down low, trying to find a little bit of space. Connor McDavid trying to get away from the attack, gets around one, pressed by two. Good opportunity here, getting down below. McDavid just playing keep away for about 30 seconds, but eventually forced off the puck as this puck was sent back towards neutral ice. Brought back in yet again, 9.5 to go here in period number 1. A 1-0 advantage in favor of Nuke. Good poke check in neutral ice, under 9 minutes to play here, as we're now getting a bit of a feeling out process between these two competitors. The puck sent all the way back in by Drew Doughty, played by Carey Price, back to Doughty. Just trying to find a little bit of space, trying to find a lane, see what might be open as we're now at 5-on-5. Decent job here of, I guess, trying to wait it out, trying to see what might become available at one point for Team Slovakia. Over in the corner.
You kind of have to wait it out, and it's hard because hockey's a game of microseconds sometimes, but Lady Brunette doing her job so far at controlling the speed of the game to the best of her ability, and hopefully something opens up for her and she can get a shot on and a goal here before the period closes out.
Puck chase down in the corner, offensive zone chance for Nuke. Setting things up, trying to move in was Eric Carlson, but a nice steal made by Lady Brunette, now moved on out. Again, playing a lot of time between the blue lines. Nice drop pass there left because that was just in the offensive end, and that results in a beautiful goal. A little give and go. And now a 2-0 game and a 7-0 aggregate score as Elias Pettersson picks up the marker.
A give and go indeed, quite literally one of the ways you would expect a give and go to work perfectly. It did so there, and a great goal. Finding some space there was Nuke, and well in the lead here now for the aggregate.
Back and forth pass that time. The shot was blocked, and now a rush opportunity the other way for Lady Brunette, but a little bit of good defense there and a good active stick, knocking the puck free. Chance down low on the rush, but immediately knocked away and taken away as Lady Brunette starts things back the other way. Perhaps a chance, spinning away from one attacker, just sends it on goal, and Markstrom kicks it aside. Skated out of the zone now. 80 seconds left to play in the first period. Landeskog in deep, takes that wrist shot. Carey Price will make the save and hang on with 1:03 left in the period. Face off to the right of Carey Price. Will they go for a set play? They win it straight back. Ekman Larson tried to make that cross ice feed to the right wing, but it was read well by Lady Brunette making that steal. Now an opportunity the other way. Quick short side shot, but Markstrom got the blocker there to make the save. Taylor Hall, cross ice feed, and it just sent across the goal line and wide. Back with another shot down low, and that one sent wide to the corner. And that is how the first period ends.
This is what I love about IIHF hockey. When you get down into it, you're representing your country. You have a lot to play for. Lady Brunette knows she could still do something here in this game and cut into this lead and kind of do her part, and just sending the puck across the red line, the paint of that blue paint. It's just unfortunate and a heartbreaker for Team Slovakia there at the end of that period.
And what a difference that could have made, too, to cut that lead to 2-1 with the goal in the final moments. But it is 2-0 in this game. It is 7-0 aggregate in the series. Lady Brunette trying to chip away at that with an offensive zone presence here, trying to go maybe for the wraparound. Thought better of it, though. Chance for Stamkos trying to cross that quick little pass to the high slot, and the shot was turned aside by Markstrom. Nice steal on the offensive end. Stamkos trying to find a lane, maybe to just cross right in front on his own. Maybe trying to set something up. Going for that backhand, the one-time feed instead, and they score! Connor McDavid, and that is the first goal of the series for Team Slovakia.
Breaking the aggregate shutout was the Lady Brunette herself, and that was a great goal. Staying with the puck, just finding some space right there in that slot. It's a good place to be. You're going to score, about 98% of the time when you're in that position, Drew, and she did so right there.
What I really like about the approach on that play, and we've seen her do that a good bit in this game already, is that she has two options depending, and that one nearly another opportunity on that one-time feed for Brad Marchand, but that was read and intercepted as Marchand now regaining possession, now in the corner, pinned up against the boards. But when she does this play, she tries to start down low, and she gives herself two options. She can try to make that centering pass to the high slot, or she could just go for the backhand or forehand shot on goal from the player that's crossing along the goal line. Long shot kicked aside by Markstrom. But it's a really great play because essentially it gives her two options and it forces her opponent to make a decision as far as which one they're going to shut down, because they can't shut both down.
Smart experience by Lady Brunette there to kind of give herself some choice here in this adaptation she had to make here to adjust to the gameplay.
Big steal opportunity down low. That one-timer just knocked away by Lady Brunette. Great work with that manual poke check, just knocking the pass out of the way, because that one was going to connect, and then Carey Price would have been tasked with making an incredibly difficult save. Quick slap shot generating a rebound chance, but the rebound could not be thrown on goal. McKinnon spinning away with it, forced off the puck. Bergeron with the steal, and now the pass on ahead. 11 minutes, 10 seconds to go in period number 2. It is a 2-1 game as Connor McDavid has the goal most recent in this one, the only one in the second period, as Lady Brunette has cut the lead in half for this individual game. Finishing up a line change here, Scheifele got on the ice, now with the puck, fresh legs, forced away from the puck, and now gets it down low. Scheifele just trying to force it in, and that one still... It actually looked like it was still loose, but the official with that whistle anyway.
He couldn't see it, Drew.
Yeah, no, I think the coaching staff definitely screaming at the referees from the bench because that puck was very clearly loose sitting next to the post. but I guess it was frozen up against the post, pinned against the post by Jacob Markstrom.
Play quite literally stopped.
Ooh, that one-time feed nearly redirected in by Victor Hedman, but sent a little bit wide as Stamkos tried to feed Crosby on that one-timer. Could have been really dangerous. Here's Hedman in the offensive end now, trying to re-extend that lead for Nuke back to 3-1, which would be back to a 2-goal advantage. Nice steal in their own end. Now Elias Pettersson in the offensive zone. Plays it back for Erik Karlsson. D-to-D pass for Hedman. Now back. That shot blocked by a lot of traffic in front. Backstrom with it down low. Good poke check there by Lady Burnett, knocking it away as Nuke could not get the opportunity to go. Now a chance on the other side. Setting up in the offensive end. McDavid forced off the puck by Victor Hedman. Really nice steal. Teammate on teammate there with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Centering feed, that one was knocked away, but it's still an opportunity here for Nuke, trying to build on that lead with under 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play in this middle period of game number 2. Break-in chance for Lady Burnett. Goes for that forehand shot, may have hit the side of the net. Markstrom was there hugging the post and could not sneak it past him. Opportunity now on the other end. Nuke rips a wrist shot. That one kicked away by Carey Price, and the rebound is taken out of the zone. Minute 40 to go in this period. Centered up top. Long shot taken. Slowed down in front. Taylor Hall with it, trying to center. That puck was sent into traffic, and now from the corner, cleared out of the zone by Nuke. On a rush. Final 40 seconds of this second period of play. Will we get a goal here in the final minute? An opportunity in the final 10 seconds, but a nice job of back-checking and making the steal using Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Erik Karlsson, final 3 seconds. Got to do something with it quick. Centered, shot, and scored! Oliver Ekman-Larsson has made this a 2-goal game yet again with under 2 seconds to go in the period.
Just when Lady Burnett thinks she was going to walk out of the period with something to hold her head on, that's got to be a deflating moment there. You score with 1.2 seconds left, but Nuke able to stay on top of it. From the back check, Drew, sent it up the left side and just drove the net for a goal. And you can't do anything better there if you're in his position with under 8 seconds to go when he got the puck.
And used every moment that he had as well, because he basically got to the corner, looked at the game clock, made a pass, and that shot went in with barely over a second remaining. So maybe would have been a chance for a little bit of a rebound had it not gone in. But when you talk about milking the clock and using every possible second, as we have a breakaway to open up the third, but a good back check and a poke check to force that puck towards the corner.
Lady Burnett's got to do a little bit of work here. You got to come up, +1 here in the game. So you got to go 4-3 to kind of cut into the lead. 3 goals minimum required from Lady Burnett.
Chance down low, Steven Stamkos just circling with it, trying to set up maybe that play that led to the Connor McDavid goal earlier back in the second period, but unable to do anything as now it's cleared out. And a good stick check there, Drew Doughty getting the stick in the lane and knocking it away, but here re-entering the zone, Elias Pettersson spinning, trying to set something up, cross-ice pass, banked off the boards, and Hedman will scoop it up, now down low. What can they do with it from down low? Nice job there by Shabbat, just getting the stick in there and making that steal beneath the goal line. Nearly 5 minutes gone by in the third and final regulation time period. The quick shot generating a rebound chance, but Stamkos could not reach back and get it. Lady Burnett trying to get back in and reestablish offensive zone presence. Stamkos in the corner, pushed off the puck. Gabriel Landeskog picks it up. Feed on ahead. Forsberg cross ice, centered for Backstrom, rips that wrister and off the shoulder of Carey Price. Erik Karlsson, D-to-D pass. Ekman-Larsson down low, making the pass, and now let's see, it's an offensive zone presence, and Philip Forsberg trying to extend the lead even farther for Nuke. It's 3-1. It is 8-1 in the aggregate. Long shot, and what a tip in front past Carey Price. The slap shot pass to Nicholas Backstrom, and a beautiful, picture-perfect redirect from just above the goal line knocks it in, and it's now a 4-1 game.
As a longtime defenseman in EISHL, I might be in the top 5, Drew, of arguably the best slap passes one has ever seen in 6v6 history. But that one, my friend, was a heck of a slap pass right to the stick. right into the kitchen, and that one goes in for the goal.
That could not have been more perfectly done if it was in practice and only those two were on the ice. That was everything that you try if you are a coach, if you are a player. That is everything you're trying to teach, everything you're trying to learn, everything you're trying to do when you're doing a slap pass like that. And, picture perfect as Lady Burnett getting that quick shot on goal on the other side against Markstrom, but the save is made, 9.5 to play. I don't know if I'm going to be over that beautiful play at any point in the near future. You can't see me on the webcam during this call, but immediately just threw myself back in the chair, hands on my head, like I cannot believe what I just saw. That was unbelievable.
It was something else. And my face, you can't see mine in the production today, Drew, while we're broadcasting what everyone is seeing, but I was in the same boat. I put my chair back. I was just shocked for just a moment there.
Lady Burnett trying to go short side with Crosby on that one, but Markstrom making the stop. It is currently an 8-goal deficit for Team Slovakia. Here's a 2-on-1 rush. The feed, and that shot was denied. Jacob Markstrom getting across the crease and getting enough of it to force it wide. Another shot down low, that time from Stamkos, denied by Markstrom. And a rush the other way just as quickly. Pettersson gets the shot on goal. Price will have to just squeeze it to his chest and hang on with 5:48 to go here in this contest. Not only was that goal a thing of beauty, but it extends the lead in the game for Nuke for the first time beyond 2 goals. It's now a +3 in this contest for Nuke. And you add that to the +5 that Josh Fearless picked up back in game number 1. And there's a quick shot that nearly made it a +4 in this game. Another opportunity as the puck goes towards the slot. And an offensive zone presence here. That D-to-D pass resulting in a nice slap shot on goal and a rebound. Cleared out, but not out of the zone. Forsberg, that one stolen away. Lady Burnett's gonna have a breakaway. Can she pick up the goal? Backhander, and she does! Beautiful play, and that one from Patrice Bergeron gets her back on the board as Lady Burnett cuts the lead to 4-2.
4-2, getting into that lead like you mentioned, Drew, and she had a great chance there. You have to put those home, and I kind of expected Nuke to kind of take control of the goalie there and make the save. He did not, and then she beats Markstrom.
So now 4-2 is now 9-2 in the aggregate. And still some time left to be played in this game. It's a 2-goal deficit. There's time enough for Lady Burnett to try and complete a comeback effort, especially with that real-time final minute. You probably would want a goal before there's at least 30 to 45 seconds left to give you a chance to try and tie it. But we'll see. She needs to get that 3rd goal of the game first. Centering feed down low. Oh, and Marchand redirected that one over the net.
Seeing some interesting style of play here, Drew, in this matchup here today.
45 seconds left. Marchand with it. Forced towards the corner. Down low. Circling. Trying to find some kind of passing lane or a skating lane to try to center himself to take this pass. Take a shot. Move the puck in some way. Marchand forced to just kick it away, and it's taken up by Nuke. Can they clear the zone? They will. Feed on ahead. Dropped on back. Klingberg, that shot, it's loose. The rebound on the doorstep, and it's tucked in. This game is now 5-2 in the closing minute.
Nuke is just able to make the most of opportunities. He does so here. He's able to just kind of poke that puck into the net. Unfortunately, again, within less than a minute to go, and those are some heartbreaking goals when you have that happen to you after having a little bit of success.
William Karlsson credited with that marker, and for the 2nd period in a row, Nuke has scored a goal in the final 30 seconds of the period. Trying to do another one, and they do! It's now 6-2!
And that pretty much undoes everything Lady Burnett did in this game to kind of work her way and her team's way into a manageable position. Now you're down by 9 going into game 3, and I don't know if this looks good for the next 2 games for Team Slovakia, Drew.
And you can look at it in one way if you're trying to convince yourself that you can make a comeback, and that is if the other team in 2 games can pick up 11 goals and win a total of 11-2. There's nothing that says that you couldn't flip the script and do the exact same in reverse in games 3 and 4. It's an incredibly difficult task, especially against competition like Josh Fearless and Nuke, but it is something that might be doable. But I mean, Lady Burnett twice started to claw her way back into this game, making it a 2-1 contest, only for Nuke to score in the final 2 seconds of the second period to extend that lead to 3-1. And then when it was 4-1, she gets another goal on a beautiful play, only for 2 goals to be scored in the final 30 seconds of regulation, and to end up, instead of maybe losing 4-2 or 3-1, the final score of that one 6-2, and that is going to be an incredibly difficult mountain to climb here with just 2 games remaining in the aggregate.
Reminds me of my grandfather when he told me he had to go outside back in the day, uphill both ways in the snow with a backpack on. I feel like that's about to be what Team Slovakia is going to face here in the next 6 periods of hockey. But nevertheless, we've seen some crazy things happen, not only in these past couple of series, but even in throughout our hockey history together, Drew. So I never say never. It's just going to be a lot of work ahead for these 2 teammates here for Team Slovakia.
And we do have 2 more games in this series, the final quarterfinal series of the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship. Who will be moving on to face Sweden? Can Team Canada just maintain this lead? They just have to go into maintenance mode and just keep things going and smooth in the final 2 games. But can Feeneman and Lady Burnett complete the comeback? We are coming back with the second and final of the PlayStation 4 games in just a few minutes. It will be game 3 of 4 of this series as Canada takes on Slovakia. Welcome back to our coverage of the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship. Drew Goldfarb, Nick DeMeo with you on the call. We are halfway through this series as Team Canada has been in total domination against Team Slovakia. The aggregate sits at 11-2 as we enter the second half of competition and our second and final of the PlayStation 4 matchups between Josh Fearless and Pheenoman. Nick, we saw in that first game just a 5-0 huge victory for Josh Fearless. If you're Pheenoman and you've been kind of sitting back for the last half hour watching your teammate play, what changes are you making in order to go into this second matchup of yours to try and be competitive and maybe even try to chip away at that huge aggregate lead?
Yeah, it's almost stunning. It's whoa, we're halfway there, and whoa, Slovakia might be living on a prayer. Nevertheless, I hope if you're Pheenoman, you were inside of a match, getting some reps in, maybe connecting to a friend in Canada, just trying to get some stuff under your belt, kind of get just more reps in and making some adjustments. The adjustments you have to make, stay off the penalty buttons. And I call those buttons specifically right bumper and A. You don't want to press those buttons, or I guess it's X on PlayStation. I'm an Xbox player. You don't want to press those buttons and take those penalties. Get in the shooting lanes, get in the passing lanes, and kind of use the body more. We saw a little bit of that in the first period, but he got away from it really quick. And I think that was his downfall. We saw him diving in front, getting into the shooting lanes. That seemed to work for him. And I guess being maybe feeling a little bit of pressure, maybe the quarterfinals kind of showing their true colors of the stakes of this game. Maybe he got away from that too early. I think you have to go back to that. And you're down by 9. I think you have to be, we always talk about the plus minus. You got to go +2 every period, and you'll be +12. So if you can do that, it's going to be hard, but both teams are facing the same issues. Both teams are going uphill. Both teams are on the same connection with Slovakia going uphill. And they've got to mount a comeback.
Yeah, and on your point of the penalties, 7 power play chances for Josh Fearless in their first matchup. 3 on the other side, by the way, for Feeneman. No power play goals, no shorthanded goals either, but 10 penalties, which one of them was had a bit of overlap. So you're talking about 19 minutes out of 60 that were spent 5-on-4 or 4-on-4. So just and that is definitely something. But you also, I guess, you can't tone down the aggression going into this game because you literally can't afford to not be trying to score at all times. And I wonder because you could see they're currently making their lineup alterations and making a couple changes. I was keeping an eye on both teams here. You wonder if maybe if you try to make a lineup change and you try to play a bit more aggressive. I mean, from the beginning, the strategy that you're telling your team to play by has to just be as aggressive as you can physically be at this point. It's better to give up a 2-on-1 the other way to get yourself 5 chances more per period than you would to not give up that one odd man rush, because you literally, it doesn't matter in this kind of situation if you enter the next game, the final game, down 10 goals or down 9 goals or down 8 goals, it's going to be an insurmountable lead in that kind of a situation. You've got to be aggressive because you have to be plus, and you've got to be plus a big number in this game to try and make things a bit more reasonable for Lady Brunette in the 4th and final matchup of the series.
Yeah, as we look back to the previous matchup that these two had on the PlayStation 4, you're down 9 goals. I think the magic number, and you asked me this question yesterday going into Game 4. We're here in Game 3 now facing a similar issue, down by almost double-digit goals. What's the magic number? I think it's 4. You got to be -4 in the aggregate going into the 4th game. I think if you can get there, that's successful and doable for Lady Brunette. We see what she can do, and I think she has the ability to pull out a win like that. But Feeneman's got some work ahead of him to get to that point, and Fearless is an unstoppable player. We have to see if he can be stopped to have that success.
Yeah, it's difficult to kind of try to say we've got to be +4 or +5 in this 3rd game when your first game ended 5-0 as a loss for you. It's a difficult thing to even say, like, okay, we lost 5-0 in the first game, we've got to win this game. But you now have to win by the same margin you lost by in game number 1. And that's a difficult thing. And, you're still trying to break through for that first goal in your matchup here on the PS4. So it's going to be a really tall task. It's a big ask of Feeneman in this situation. But you've got to be able to do something. You've got to score in each of the periods. You've got to try and turn the playing in your own end and giving opportunities to Josh Fearless. You've got to move it in the other side. You've got to be playing 2/3 of the game in the other side of the rink where you're on offense, where you're having opportunities, where you're getting shots on goal and you're trying to generate rebounds, or where you're getting breakaways, but 2-on-1s, odd-man rushes, which I don't think Josh Fearless is going to give up. I wouldn't be shocked, given that there's a 9-goal advantage entering this game in the aggregate. I wouldn't be shocked if he's trying to just conserve and play a trap, trying to keep a few guys back and just manually make sure that there are no odd man rushes the other way.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. When it comes down to it, you have to spend 75 to 85% more time in the other opponent's end than in your end. It's the only way the victory is going to happen as we take you down to ice time for game number 3 between Team Canada and Team Slovakia here in the quarterfinals.
And yet again, it is Team Slovakia dressed as Team Canada in the red going down. Team Canada dressed as Team Sweden in the yellow going up on your screen. And right off the bat, here's an opportunity for Josh Fearless trying to set something up. Victor Hedman up top, staying in. Good job keeping in the zone. Feed for Landeskog, and just like that, they're on the board. It is 1-0, 1:03 into this game. Basically the same as game number 1 started.
Game number 1, he scored with 17:30 to go in the first period. Now we did that in 1:03. I think that's a statement goal, Drew, if you're going to be asking me over here.
Now a 10-goal advantage in the aggregate as we have an offside whistle with 18:34 to go in the first. I thought that we might see a little bit of conservative play out of Josh Fearless, but not the case through the first 90 seconds here.
They say sometimes if you want to put your opponent out before the end of the 12 rounds, you got to come out swinging like in round 5. We did that here.
Ricard Raquel getting a quick shot, a really nice little chip up, and Gabriel Landeskog also with an opportunity. Hedman rips a shot on goal. Price will make the glove save and hang on as Ricard Raquel was right on the doorstep. putting some pressure there. So 2 minutes, 34 seconds gone by in this contest, and the action has been 100% in the offensive zone for Josh Fearless.
100%. And it is the opposite of what we said needed to happen if you're Feeneman here in this matchup.
Duncan Keith will clear the zone, and now finally in the offensive end as Keith scoops it up. Plays it back for McDavid, cross for Weber, quick shot, he hit the iron. Again back for Weber, and that shot a little bit slower that time, and Markstrom just able to make the save and leaves it out for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Loose puck, McDavid ripping it on goal a couple times. Scheifele now scooping it up. This is the kind of play you're going to need to see for basically the remainder of this contest for Feeneman if he's going to try to not just chip away and get tied as that one rings off the iron on the other side, but he's got to take the lead and build on it, and that shot blocked. Good job of blocking that opportunity manually by Duncan Keith as Feeneman got in the shooting lane. Philip Forsberg centered. Pettersson scores, and it's now 2-0. He was wide open in the slot right at the bottom hash mark and just rips that shot to make it a 2-0 game.
It's almost like Fearless is playing on a whole other level right now, Drew. There's just no stopping him, and he's finding players open with nobody within 6 feet of them. That's gonna lead to a goal pretty much every time, despite Feeneman's effort to take control of Carey Price to make the save, but he did not, was not successful in doing that.
It's amazing that if nothing else, if anything, and here's Backstrom on a rush quickly trying to sneak that one in past Price, but cannot. Nice steal there momentarily as Doughty clears the zone. But if anything, the aggregate lead entering this game has made Josh Fearless more fearless. It has made him more aggressive, where he's just willing to try anything and everything and just be as relentless in all offense as he can be, because if you give up a goal, you're still up by 8 in the aggregate. You're still up by 9 now in the aggregate if you give up a goal, or 10 at this point in the aggregate if you give up a goal right now. So, you know, it seems to have just kind of, you know, allow him to be even more all out as William Karlsson trying to break away. He will, forehand, trying to sweep it in, and a save is made. Puck dropped off, interestingly, to Chris Letang, who will scoop it up. Got a helmet down in the offensive end as well. Nice aggressive goaltending there. Nathan McKinnon trying to center for Huberdeau, but it was stolen away by John Klingberg and skated out of the zone.
And to your
Now
point,
in the offense.
to your point a little bit ago there, Drew, sorry, what I was going to say is, you know, we talk about throwing things on net, and earlier in the game we saw a selective style in the first game of choosing a shot, and maybe that's a little bit of a tense decision by Feeneman and also by Fearless until things opened up later in the game. But we saw that, and maybe that's not the right decision to make here. Maybe you were too tense going into the game, and now you're caught just way behind the 8 ball, and it's going to be very hard to get out of. And now you gave Fearless all the confidence to do what we just said you have to do, as we see another chance there. It's just throwing things on net, and sometimes that does work. Get shots to the net. We talk about it all the time in all forms of hockey. That's just something you have to do.
Huge opportunities on the other end, but now Chris Letang in the offensive zone, maybe trying to get a D-to-D. Goes to O'Reilly, and that one little feed has gotten the first goal of the series for Feeneman, breaking through and cutting the lead down to 2-1 in this contest. It's Brad Marchand.
A little bit of pride moment there, a little bit of getting yourself back on rhythm from Feeneman. We talked about him making something happen. He did there. The player was open. He made the right pass. And I think he wants to win this game, despite the outcome of what the series might be. We talked about this before, too, is you want to win the game. And you have to start with one, right? Starts with one, and now we have that one.
It took 75 minutes and 50 seconds in the PlayStation 4 battle, but Feeneman able to break that shutout streak for Josh Fearless. Philip Forsberg in the offensive end, slowing down in the corner. Now getting it to Landeskog for that quick shot, but it was kicked away by Carey Price. A couple passes later, it's now Taylor Hall over for Steven Stamkos in the offensive end. Maybe trying to tie this game up. Shea Weber stepping in, stepping up, cross-ice feed for Taylor Hall. He thought that he was going to draw the defender across, but Josh Fearless stayed with his man, and that pass was read and intercepted.
That's when you got to shoot short side there and take Markstrom on the short side, beat him on the blocker. He did not do that, and that's a costly mistake there for Feeneman here as the period almost winds to a close.
Final 3 seconds. We'll see if we'll get another shot here. One-time feed, and that one blocked down in front. So the first period comes to a close with the score 2-1 in favor of Josh Fearless. You see a lot of shots on goal in that period, but the aggregate 13-3 with 5 periods left to go.
And I want to make sure I give credit where it's due, Drew. I know it sounds like the offensive and everything we're giving is towards Fearless and Team Canada, but that's mainly because they've scored 13 goals here in our coverage so far. But on the other side, way to be in position for that break, for that 2-on-1 chance back the other way here at the end of that period. Feeneman put his player in the right position, made the save, and kind of stopped the bleeding there, because that was a surefire goal. Great read by Fearless to get it there, but Feeneman able to stop it.
Underway here in period number 2. This is game number 3 of 4. Good steal there by Sidney Crosby and getting it back for Duncan Keith. Now having to exit their own zone. They get it up for Crosby and Stamkos. Crosby down low, trying to maybe slow down and try to spin it back, but lost possession of it. Now Elias Pettersson will enter the offensive end on the other side for Fearless. Josh Fearless spinning away from a couple players. Good job there poking him off of the puck. Hedman trying to make that centering feed, but Duncan Keith with the read and intercept up for Stamkos, and now Taylor Hall in the offensive end. Taylor Hall pushed off the puck as well. Gabriel Landeskog getting back to do the honors there. Philip Forsberg pinned up against the boards, now played back towards neutral ice. And this is more along the lines of how we saw a lot of the early play in game number 1 go, where it was a bit more feeling out and a lot of kind of trying to look for big passes, and either they would be read or they couldn't generate a shot on goal here in the first 5 minutes of period number 2.
Yeah, a little bit of a slower game right now, which might play to the benefit there of Feeneman, but Fearless able to stay with it.
Crosby getting that shot on goal. He had a lot of space, but just could not beat Jacob Markstrom. Erik Karlsson chips ahead to himself in the offensive end, but Drew Doughty forced him off the puck. And now a power play chance. The first penalty of this game after having 10 taken in game number 1. It took until the second period, and it will be a power play chance for Feeneman and Team Slovakia.
Two very different styles of games we've seen so far, but it might be because of the scoreline. Nevertheless, Feeneman on the power play.
Drew trying to get it down towards the slot area, could not, but it is now down low. McDavid spins away, one-time feed for Taylor Hall. Big save, and reaching back was Jacob Markstrom to get the whistle at the exactly 13 minutes left in this middle period.
Feeneman getting robbed by the post again, and I think we've had a lot of rings off the post in this series so far.
Backlund entering the offensive end short-handed, going towards the corner with it, pressured by Duncan Keith. Huberdeau making the hit, and now the board pin. Puck sent up for Ekholm, center back for William Karlsson. Great job on this penalty kill right now, just wasting down about a minute's worth of time in the other end, and now making the steal back right at their own blue line. Backlund will re-enter the zone. We're on the verge of being back to 5-on-5 hockey as Duncan Keith makes the steal. Stamkos exits, and we are now back to even strength. Nothing doing on the power play yet again. Crosby down low, trying to get it into the slot area. Had Huberdeau and Stamkos there, but the puck didn't reach. Ricard Raquel on the rush, now in the corner. Forced to stop by Duncan Keith, trying to get around him, but Brent Burns was also there to poke it away. Played around the boards to Backstrom. Good takeaway by Jonathan Huberdeau. Keith and Stamkos now trading the puck, but Backstrom making the steal, picking things up. We're back to that trading possession here. Rasmus Dahlin in the offensive end, the feed for Zibanejad. He's down low. What can he do from the face-off circle? Moves to the other side. Now on the dot, centering feed for Backstrom. Rebound chance, and it's tucked in by Ricard Raquel.
Powerful move from Josh Fearless to stay with the puck. He was patient. He moved the puck out to center point, back down low, and then picks it up from pretty much the red line there, Drew. Puts it home at a Stamkos-type angle of a shot.
Yeah, right from along the goal line, just maybe the puck, maybe a foot off of the goal line, so that is a really sharp angle shot, but just right into the net. And that is the third goal of the game for Team Canada, again, dressed as Team Sweden for this contest. And now you're talking about a 14-3 aggregate score with less than 4.5 periods left to be played. Here comes McDavid breaking in. Beautiful goal, kicking it in past Jacob Markstrom.
Wow. That's a nice goal and a good answer for Friedemann. He's trying to tell you he's not out yet, and that was with style. So I don't know if we can give 2 points for that, but I'm going to give 2 style points for that instead. And that's a great goal by Friedemann.
Just unbelievable doing that little move to just tuck it in. You often see that in a shootout in the NHL. That is a favorite of a few players, Alexander Barkov among them. An incredibly impressive move to do that when you are completely by yourself. Even more bold and impressive to pull that off when you have a defenseman about 3 feet behind you trying to poke it away. And here on the one-time feed, hitting some more iron, was Ryan O'Reilly. Trying to tie this game up now.
Getting a little bit aggressive is Friedemann, which I like to see. Just hope it's not too little too late for him.
Chance the other way, but it does not result in a shot as a nice steal is made on the defensive end by Friedemann. Holding up at neutral ice, trying to wait for the opportunity to get in the offensive zone. Tavares with it, just above the faceoff circle. Now right inside the blue line, down low for O'Reilly. Forced to the corner, back for Tavares. Maybe looking for Marchand, does get it to him. That one-timer block. Doughty with a chance, trying to get it back for Tavares. And that one read and intercepted. Brent Burns, really aggressive play to steal that puck away, but will ice the puck with 2:27 to go here in the second period.
Some of the things that we overlook a lot when we call the bigger picture of what's happening is those micro things that happen on the ice. Right there, Brent Burns using, and that's Friedemann using his size to bump them off the puck and take it back. That's a great play because he got beat on that little self-chip up from Josh Fearless, and he was able to just bump him off and take the puck. That's really smart.
90 seconds left to go here in period number 2. A 3-2 lead for Josh Fearless. A much more competitive game than we saw in the first one. Good stick check there by Ryan O'Reilly, knocking the puck free momentarily. Final 30 seconds. Forsberg feeds Landeskog. That shot was blocked. Doughty intercepted. Landeskog again. Final 10 seconds. Trying to center for Forsberg. Good read and intercept by Brent Burns. Doughty getting it up. Marchand. Cross ice. 3 seconds and 2 left. Long shot taken right at the glove of Markstrom, but they were offside anyway. So 2.4 left to go in the second period. And we will have a neutral ice faceoff. Maybe a chance, if they can win this draw quick, to take a shot from neutral ice. But seems unlikely we'll see much offense, if any, here before we get to that horn. And it's instead a tie-up. And that is how the second period comes to a close. Goals in that second period, 1 apiece. Ricard Raquel, Connor McDavid. The score after 2, 3-2 in favor of Josh Fearless, as Friedemann trying to at least earn a series split here on the PlayStation 4 side.
A lot better performance from Friedemann this game. I don't know if it's accredited to him getting more used to what's happening and adjusting his play style, or Fearless kind of putting his foot off the gas a little, but Fearless looks like he's playing a lot more aggressive than before, so I don't think that's the case. Moving back to those little smart things, 2.4 seconds left. You don't want to give up another goal. You don't want to tie the game, and Fearless chooses to tie up the player on that faceoff. So the little things really do add up to bigger results here, and those great players, it's what takes them from good to great. Able to do that at a more consistent level. We're seeing a lot of that here with Josh Fearless so far this matchup.
So it is 14-4 in the aggregate scoring. It seems highly unlikely with 4 regulation periods remaining that we could see a comeback mounted by Slovakia. Not impossible, just improbable at this point, because not only would Friedemann have to make a comeback enough to pick up a win in this game, but then you're tasking Lady Burnett with having to pick up a blowout victory in the 4th and final of the series. However, there is the opportunity for both Friedemann and Lady Burnett to at least earn a win series split as Sidney Crosby enters the offensive end for Friedemann, looking to tie it up. Cross ice feed for Duncan Keith, and this game is tied.
What a great pass and a great score by Friedemann. He has found that spot maybe 5 or 6 times, 3 this game, and 2 have connected. That's a great way to tie this game up.
Early in the third period, and it is now 3-3. So Friedemann, who to this point is 0-3 in bracket play here at the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship, has tied the game with just under 18 minutes left to be played in regulation, trying to pick up perhaps his first victory in international competition in this tournament. And now an offensive zone presence. Long shot from Brent Burns. Rebound there for Bergeron. Save made by Jacob Markstrom. Puck drop for Bergeron. Rebound, Bergeron again. Toe save, one-timer, and Scheifele scores. The lead belongs to Fiedemann. It is 4-3.
8 more goals is really what we have to go here. I don't know if it's doable, but he's trying to make an effort here, Drew. And this is going to be a fun third period to watch, I think.
If the pace were to keep up, very small sample size, 2 goals though in 3 minutes and 33 seconds. If you pull that off, you could theoretically score 12 goals in this third period.
Look at the shots there too, 15-9 now. And Bergeron
They were
had
9-9.
Yeah, then 9-9. Bergeron had, 4 chances there, and I was surprised the first 2 didn't go in, and I think that might have just ticked off Fiedemann just a little bit there. And he said, okay, hang on, I'm going to score here, and he does. And Fearless smartly, wisely, intelligently takes a timeout to just slow everything down for a second. I guess the guys were packing up. They were lacing up their boots to go home. They're like, we did our part here. We're done. Team Canada, let's go. Game's not over yet, my friends.
6 shots on goal to open the period for Fiedemann in just 3.5 minutes.
Love to see it.
Unbelievable effort. A 4-3 lead for Fiedemann, who holds the lead for the first time in this series. Landeskog the other way, forced off the puck. It is actually the first time in this series that Slovakia has held the lead on Canada. We'll see if they can build on it. Maybe get a plus a few in this game, but Hedman down low beneath the goal line, now in the corner. The defenseman pinching in deep, trying to set something up. Forced along the boards, now centering himself. One-time feed across, but it was a little out of reach of Elias Pettersson. Now a steal by Forsberg along the boards. One-timer across. Forsberg picks it up. Pettersson tucking it in. And just like that, we're back tied.
Great response there by Fearless, and you can see him not give up on the play either. The game's now tied, and you can kind of see Fiedemann had his players in position. If you look here, he did shift over and try to pick him up, just not in time, as Fearless was able to draw 3 men over to his side, because he can put goals home that way too. And that cross ice pass still open. It's going to be a determining factor. Who moves on to the next round is who can control that middle of the ice position right in front of their own goalie.
So the lead lasted for about 4 minutes or so in game time. And we are tied at 4. Ricardo Kell down low. Backstrom also poking away at it, but it comes away to Taylor Hall. Skating out of the zone. Looking to give his team the lead yet again, but offside as Duncan Keith just could not get to the puck in time with 10:08 to go in regulation. And we are now back to that +9 situation for Team Canada, for Josh Fearless. But a 4-4 game. And again, Fiedemann, who is looking for his first win in bracket play. That would be something for sure to look up and say that's a great thing that we did, as McDavid just pushes it on goal and Markstrom will hang on for the whistle. 8:54 left in this contest.
And if the lead were a little bit not as wide, I guess it would be fine to go to OT and get 1 more goal, kind of cut into that, but you're down by 9, so you can't really hold on to this tie, play for 1 more goal. You need 5, 6 more goals to kind of make a statement here, and I don't know if there's enough time to do that.
Nylander in the offensive end, forced away from the puck by Brent Burns. Burns picking it up now, skating out with it, making the pass up for Crosby, and his pass is intercepted. Taylor Hall will scoop up a loose puck. Crosby forced off of the puck. Skating with it is William Karlsson, making the pass up for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. In the offensive end, Ekman-Larsson down low for Lindholm, trying to get it back for Ekman-Larsson. It'll be William Karlsson scooping it up, trying to go short side, and did not have the space. Stamkos spinning around in the zone end, trying to find a lane, makes that long cross-ice pass up for Burns, and now Bergeron. Chris Bergeron back from McDavid, forced off the puck, Doughty up top for Scheifele, cross for Burns. Brent Burns, he's got a big shot, leaves it for Scheifele though, now down low, and that pass from McDavid was intercepted. Gus Nyquist will make the pass up for Lindholm, and now they're on the offensive, but offside. Could not just keep that puck entirely in the offensive end, trying to make that little spin move. So we have a whistle with 3:56 left in regulation.
And Fearless keeping a lot of the play in front of him right now. As you saw that point protection, he was able to keep his player in front of the puck, not bite on the moves there by Brent Burns, and that forced the turnover down low from Feeneman to go back the other way.
There's cross-ice pass intercepted by Ricard Raquel. On the rush, Raquel trying to center for Zibanejad, and that one pushed on goal, and Price made the stop. Marchand self-chipping it up to himself there. Pulls up just inside the blue line in the offensive end, but Raquel making that steal. Nice job there of recovery. Final 90 seconds, the final 60 will be in real time. Backing into the zone is Victor Hedman. Trying to center. Feed! Zibanejad turned aside! Backstrom beneath the goal line. Once again, trying to maybe find Raquel, maybe looking for that backhander. Spins, forehand shot, he scores!
Ooh. You shut down the middle, and it opens up the short side, and that's what I was saying earlier. Laney Burnett had to go to the short side. Josh Fearless does that here, and now they are back up by double digits and ahead in the game.
50 seconds left. Can we get a tie game here? Scheifele knocked down and separated from the puck. Forsberg skating it out. Landeskog turns it over. Pietrangelo up for Bergeron. McDavid in the offensive end, under 40 seconds left. Pietrangelo up top, trying to get it back from McDavid, but read and intercepted. Philip Forsberg forced towards the boards, but drops it back for Landeskog. Fiend was looking for a teammate way down low. I believe that was Pettersson, but the pass intercepted. Down to just 20 seconds left. McDavid alone down low, and a great back check forces the puck free. Zone cleared. Under 15 seconds left. It is a 5-4 contest. Philip Forsberg in the offensive end, trying to ice this game. Turned over. Steal again. Opportunity for Josh Fearless to just add to the lead. Landeskog trying to center. Goes on goal for Carey Price, and this one is over. A 5-4 victory for Josh Fearless, who picks up a 2-game sweep, scoring 10 goals across them. And now a 10-goal advantage for Team Canada as we head into Game 4, the final game of the series between Canada and Slovakia.
Yeah, that was a big win for Josh Fearless, going up +1, making the lead 10 goals. It's all but certain here for Team Canada to move on to the next round. They want that quarterfinal win. They want to move on, and I think they've just about done that, unless the wheels completely fall off the train pulling into the stop. It looks like a big victory for Team Canada.
We could still see if it will be a sweep or if Lady Burnett can pick up her team's first victory in this series. That is Game 4. That is coming up in just a little bit. The winner, of course, moving on to face Sweden in the semifinals of this tournament. It certainly looks like it will be Canada versus Sweden in that one, but there is 60 minutes still left to be played. There is still things to be decided here in our final quarterfinal game in the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship. That is coming up in just about 2 minutes. welcome back to the coverage of the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship. Drew Goldfarb and Nick DeMeo with you. We have one game left in the quarterfinals as Canada takes on Slovakia. It is Nuke for Team Canada taking on Lady Burnett for Team Slovakia, as Canada up 3-0 and a huge 16-6 advantage in the aggregate scoring. The series looks like it may very well be completely in the books, but one game left to be played to figure out if that lead will fully stand, how much of that lead will stand, and can Lady Burnett at least pick up a one single victory in this 4-game set between the teams. Again, going up on your screen, dressed in yellow as Team Sweden, that is Nuke representing Team Canada. Going down on your screen, dressed in red as Team Canada, that is Lady Burnett for Team Slovakia, making that nice poke check in the corner. So Nick, still a lot of pride to be played for in this game, even if that 10-goal aggregate deficit is likely to be a good bit too much to overcome in 60 minutes.
Absolutely, and Lady Burnett lost 6-2 in this first matchup versus Nuke, so a really talented player on the other side for Team Canada. Heartbreaking loss there, obviously, that we just saw in Game 3. And again, this is not to take anything away from what Team Slovakia has done to get to this point, as we see a goal there. Real quick strike again. And Team Canada just pouring on the goals right now, Drew.
That builds that aggregate to an 11-goal advantage. And very quickly, again, as William Nylander getting credit on that one, this is, I believe, in every game we've had, the first goal of the game has been scored by Team Canada in all 4 games. And I believe they've scored in the opening few moments of the first period in all 4 games. But there's a one-timer to the slot looking for Steven Stamkos on the other end. But that one went off of the goaltender, I believe, and could not result in a true shot on goal.
And let alone it being hard to play from down below, being from behind, it's hard to get to this point if you are a team that has had to qualify through a bunch of qualifying matches, get through the round of 16 and make it to the quarterfinals. You are one of, 8 teams, the best teams in the entire IIHF tournament. So hats off to Slovakia for getting to this point. Canada's just being unreal right now, and they're just pouring on a lot of goals, and they're here for one thing only, and that's championship gold here in this IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship. So no small task to take them on ever, and especially when it's time to play for something pride and tournament gold. They're going to do that, and they're going to do that with authority.
Absolutely. And on the other side, just to your point, for Slovakia, Fiedemann, who we saw really put up a great, valiant effort in that last game against his opponent, Josh Fearless. He went 0 for 4 in international. He had 2 games that were decided by just a single goal on that. But he had to beat 7 players from his home country in order to advance to this international tournament. And he and Lady Burnett have combined to advance past Latvia in that opening round. And when you're looking at a situation like this, as we have an offside, Lady Burnett picking up a sweep in that opening round against her opponent from Latvia, 7-3, 2-1. She beat 5 opponents to become the Xbox One representative for Slovakia in this tournament. So both of these players for Team Slovakia, a great performance, like you said, just to get to the tournament and to even beyond that be able to advance to the round of 8 from the round of 16. They picked up a series win as a team, as we still have some pressure here in the offensive zone from Nuke. And Team Canada, that little one-time feed to Elias Pettersson, trying to get that little slap shot to go, but could not get it as it was blocked away and taken the other direction. Nice big hit delivered there. Physical play. Love to see that kind of stuff. That doesn't usually go away, especially as the series goes on. That physical play tends to build up a little bit when you get that separation in a matchup. One-time feed down low, and that shot was denied. And now an opportunity here as Lady Burnett will just skate it out of the zone across the red line. Spin back with it is Jonathan Huberdeau, and into the offensive zone where it's dropped off for a teammate, and it ended up coming back towards center. So that will be an offside with 5:49 to go here in period number 1.
And I think it's a tall task, too, going back to what you were saying about what they had to do to get here. Team Slovakia obviously beating a lot of players in their country to be the top 2 players of their country. But on the other side, Team Canada, these 2 players, I believe, if my last rankings are correct, they're in the top 10 players in the world. So that is an upper echelon that is just hard to play against no matter who you are. Slovakia or not, USA or not, as you saw, didn't matter in the first round. In that round of 16, these players are just really good at what they do. So setting the stage looking forward, they're ready to play Sweden, and then you got a matchup on the other side with Russia and Finland, and now you've got 8 of the best players in the world going head-to-head.
Yeah, the next round is going to be absolutely incredible when you look at the talent that's going to be there, especially because now as the first period here winds down and the deficit is double digits. It is now an 11-goal lead for Team Canada against Team Slovakia. Canada versus Sweden is going to be an amazing matchup. And then, as you said, on the other side, you're looking at 2 incredibly talented teams as well. When you're talking about Russia and Finland, any 4 of these teams, you could be looking at, you could make a case for any of them to end up winning this tournament and becoming the world champions in this IIHF tournament.
And we've asked a couple of the players in the interviews after the games, who do they have? Eki said, you know, that they're obviously one of the favorites and they're probably going to go to the end, and they're worried about Canada and they're worried about Sweden, and you see those 2 are in the semifinals. If we asked Serg, he said, you know, Finland and Sweden, you know, there's a lot of respect for other players in this tournament and other teams because they understand that this is more than just a skill thing. It's more than a pride thing. This is overall glory and deciding really who is one of the best players on both consoles. That's really the factor we look at, is these players are now saying that, okay, this country is the best on both consoles collectively, which is a statement to be made when it comes down to video games and video gamers.
Yeah, that's impressive. And you could also even go one further. If Team Canada advances, as that quick little shot ends up being blocker decided by Carey Price. If Team Canada manages to take home the title, Nuke, who is currently playing in this game, might have a legitimate argument to be the best player on either console in the world, because in the Xbox One tournament in Canada, he beat Josh Fearless in bracket play.
That's true.
To become the winner. So there's a quick backhand chance, by the way, for Lady Burnett, but that went off the side of the net. Still a chance down low, and this game is all tied up. Steven Stamkos getting on the board, and this is 1-1.
And that's the pride we talked about, right? So the deficit may be down, but we have a game to play here. It's 1-0. Now it's 1-1. And if Lady Burnett can walk away with a win here, you have to be proud of what you've done to make that happen against what you mentioned here is probably one of the best players over Josh Fearless, who is his teammate.
Yeah, I mean, that's, if you're Lady Burnett, I mean, you know that at this point you're probably not advancing to the next round. You're basically low on time as that backhand shot is turned aside by Jacob Markstrom. But if you can pick up a win, this could very well, by the end of the tournament, by a week from today, 5 days from today, we could be looking at this and going, Nuke is a gold medal winner, and Nuke is the guy who also beat his teammate to become a representative on the Xbox side. If Lady Burnett can pick up a win against him here in this game, that would be quite the honor there, is that 2 quick chances for Nuke down low, but both turned aside by Carey Price.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just kind of spitballing here what the future might look like if Team Canada does walk away with a victory. I think we do have to have a match, a tournament between Josh Fearless and Nuke to decide who is the best player in an official 4-game aggregate format. I think that has to be happening.
I would agree, and I don't know. I think they would have to switch consoles. I would think that they would have to do that trade-off too, where it would be the 2 on PS4 and 2 on Xbox One.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I'm all in for that. That would be fantastic. So we'll have to talk with those guys after this. Obviously, they've got a few more matchups to be able to take care of before that. That is getting way ahead, at least by a few days ahead of things here, as it is 1-1 midway through this 4th and final game, and a quick shot is turned aside by Carey Price to keep this at 1-1. Big hit just inside the blue line, but Lady Burnett able to clear the zone anyway, and now she will go on the power play. First man advantage we have seen in this contest. 8:55 to go in period number 2.
You talked about the future of what's ahead. We didn't want to get too far ahead, but future programming note here, Friday. Make sure you tune in on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and the other time zones are there. Exclamation point info in the chat. We'll get you all the times for the semifinal matches. We will be live for one of them, and obviously our broadcast partners for the other. And then the finals coming up over the weekend. So a lot of great hockey, 3 key matchups after this to pay attention to as we crown the 2020 IIHF Esports Fan Champion on both consoles. That's really fun, and we're glad to be alongside you for the coverage. Great to be here, and of course, nice to have you there in the chat room and wherever else you may be watching from.
Good one-time chance there. Another opportunity for Lady Burnett to try to put up the go-ahead goal. Taylor Hall trying to get towards the slot again, but that one taken away, and that will do it for the power play. And in fact, it will lead to a power play on the other side, a tripping call against Lady Burnett. So as Drew Dowdy goes off to the box, it will be Nuke taking the man advantage here. And I believe it's going to be, it was basically they touched it the moment the previous penalty ended. So we begin at 5-on-4. Lady Burnett controlling off of that faceoff, but has it stolen away. That centering feed was read and intercepted, and now a turnover. Chance for Backstrom in the corner. Looking for an opening. Just tucks it in. Wow, I didn't even see that opening there, but Backstrom did, and that is a goal. The lead once again belongs to Nuke and Team Canada.
Little surprising goal there. He puts that one to bed nice and gently. Maybe read of the bedtime story. Got it some warm milk. And he tucked that one home for another goal. 2-1 lead now for Team Canada here in this 4th matchup, looking to sweep the series if they can.
We've seen a lot of power plays in this series. That was the first power play goal we have seen. And considering we saw 10 power plays in that first game alone, that is saying something about the way that these teams have defended against the man advantage. Here's another chance down low as that shot is denied. And the puck sent out of the zone. A huge hit right in front of that Team Sweden/Canada bench. Exiting the zone is Nuke, and now entering the offensive end, but offside. 2:37 to go here in this second period of play. A 2-1 lead in the game for Nuke. A big 18-7 lead for Team Canada over Team Slovakia in this series. Again, in the offensive end is Nuke. Puck poked towards the corner briefly, but just chasing it right back down to that quick short side shot right along the goal line. The puck loose behind the net. Maybe looking for a wraparound try, maybe looking for that feed towards the slot yet again. What will they do? The puck sent down low, but a little bit too slowly, and Lady Burnett able to swoop in and scoop it up and clear it out. But now the puck sent all the way back in as well. Real time, 10 seconds left in this second period of play. Lady Burnett with possession, trying to get into the offensive end for one more opportunity before the horn. Petrangelo knocked into the boards, and that will do it for period number 2. A goal aside in the frame, and we sit at 2-1 in favor of Nuke with 20 minutes left to be played in this series.
Obviously not really a worry here for Nuke to give up, math here, 11 goals to 1 period, but you definitely want to walk away with a win if you can. That does help kind of give you good momentum going to the next round. So I don't look for Nuke to take his foot off the gas at all here. And Lady Burnett obviously trying to get her win in this series. So should be an interesting period as it all comes to a close here as we close out not only this series, this game, but this quarterfinal bracket here in the tournament.
Absolutely, and it has been a fun round of the tournament as well. This tournament's been really great that we've seen. I mean, Team Slovakia in that first round, of course, that 1 goal difference as they knocked out Latvia to open things up for them. Quick little one-timer down low. That puck still loose right next to the goal and picked up as Lady Burnett really trying to get that tying marker, but a good read and intercept. Victor Hedman making the steal, and the pass on ahead is moving into the offensive end is Nuke. But this tournament has been fantastic. We've seen a lot of incredible competitors. We saw the greatest goal I've ever seen scored in that last game, that little slap pass that was deflected in front and just tucked in beautifully in our last game on the PS4. This series has had moments. I mean, as much as we had a 5-0 final in game 1 and it was a 6-2 final in game number 2, the second game didn't feel out of hand until late in the third period.
Yeah.
As we have an opportunity there turned aside by Carey Price for a whistle, 15-18 to go. That game was pretty close. It was 2-0 after one. It was 2-1 early in the second, and we had that last second goal to put Canada up 3-1 after 40 minutes of play, and then it was 4-1, but 4-2, and it was just 2 goals in the final moment. As they're on that one-time feed and a slap shot, this is now a 3-1 game as Nuke looking to complete the series sweep. Ricard Raquel picking up the marker.
And like I said, Nuke's not going to take this one slowly. No, he's going to stay on his game. He knows he has a couple of games to play for here on Friday, so he's going to go to work and try to do what he does best, which is score goals ad nauseum, especially from that side of the ice. So another great goal there by Nuke, proving that he's probably the best player in the league, much to the chagrin of Josh Fearless.
Offside whistle, 14:24 to go here in this period. One more goal for Nuke in this game, and that would put Canada at 20 in the aggregate, joining them with Sweden in round one when they defeated Italy 28-10 as breaking 20 goals, as well as Finland, who beat Great Britain 27-6 in the first round, and Team Russia beating Kazakhstan 24-8 in the first round as well. They would be the only team to score 20 in this second round. We have seen 19 put up in this round by Finland, but no one has put up 20 in the quarterfinals. So one more goal by Nuke, and they would hit that 20 total goal marker for the series. They take that quick wrist shot, generating a rebound chance, and they were really trying for that 20th as Ricard Raquel now with it behind the net. Circling. Waiting, feeds the center high slot area, and that shot just put on goal. Carey Price hangs on, 10:22 to go in this contest.
That 20th goal might be something he can play for now, kind of giving himself a little bit of an idea of maybe a motivating factor as he looks to kind of amplify his lead in his position here. If there were power rankings, I think you would want those just to get another marker and move your way up those rankings.
His teammate on the PlayStation side scored 10 goals over the course of the 2 games that he played in this series. And right now, Nuke sitting at a total of 9 through nearly 2 full games. So one more, and he and his teammate Josh Fearless would be literally even at 10 goals apiece in this series. We have an offside stoppage with 8:20 to go. If he can make this a 4-goal game for his team, get to that 20th for Team Canada in this series in aggregate, that would be, 10-10. That's splitting the work evenly with your teammate as that shot is blocked and sent towards the boards.
And then you got to have that conversation again. Who's the better player? Is it Fearless or is it Nuke? And if you scored 10 each, I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I guess you'd have to just go back to when I guess Nuke would be the one to bring up, I'm sure, that he defeated Josh Fearless in the Canadian tournament on the Xbox One side, to which I'm sure it would be countered that yes, but that was on the Xbox One side, and I am more of a PlayStation person. So, that's usually the excuse I use if my brother beats me in Xbox, is that hey, I grew up playing PlayStation. I had the PS1, PS2, and PS3. If you beat me on the Xbox One, that's because you've been more of an Xbox person. You've got years more of playing on that.
Even in the same room, I'll always blame the lag, so.
It used to be growing up to blame the Mad Catz controller.
Yep.
If you got saddled with that one, if you had like the one real one, and then you had that weird knockoff that was supposed to glow in the dark and had like a weird rumble feature I remember having a controller for the PS1, I think, maybe in the PS2, that not only did had the glow, but the selling point of it was that it had a little fan in it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it would cool you down while you were playing, or cool your hands down. And I was like, wow, that's so cool, because I'm playing these games so much. As I was like 7. I was like, yeah, of course. It's like when you go to the bowling alley and you got to put your hand over the air vent between bowling.
That's right.
Of course, as here's a chance for Lady Burnett down low, but cannot get the shot to go on goal. Final 99 seconds of this contest, of this series. One-time feed across. and Sidney Crosby is denied. 1 minute left, real time here to see if Nuke can get his team to 20 in the aggregate for this series. Steal by Lady Burnett right at the blue line. Skating the other way, one-on-one. Good poke check, just freeing up that puck. Eric Carlson getting in there. And now the puck moving the other way, but that pass off its mark and intercepted. And now a power play chance here for Lady Burnett to close out this game. So a chance to try to close the gap a little bit. 38 seconds left. If you can get a quick goal, you might be able to tie it and force OT.
Oh.
There it is. On that feed, set play off the face-off. The defenseman feeds the right wing, and now we are separated by 1 goal in this game. Lady Burnett not going down without a fight. She wants to tie this. She wants to pick up a win as Taylor Hall picks up the power play goal.
Now you got time to do it too. Could this thing go to overtime?
That shot on the short side is shoulder to side. That centering feed from Nathan McKinnon was knocked away and intercepted. Landeskog in the offensive end. Final 20 seconds. Trying to put this game back away and get to 20 goals for the series. In the corner, just trying to kill off some time, in fact. 10 seconds left. Lady Burnett on the rush. Trying to set something up. Final 7. With a little space, that shot, the puck is loose from the step and can't poke it in. It was a foot away from tying the game up in the closing moments, but this game is over as the puck just swept away. A 3-2 final score and a 19-8 in the aggregate. But the last 2 games of this series, each decided by a single goal as Lady Burnett and Feeneman both putting up a fight right down to the very last moment. But congratulations to Nuke and Josh Fearless. Team Canada moving on as they will face Sweden in the semifinals of the IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship Tournament. I kind of wish that we could have flipped games 1 and 2 with games 3 and 4.
Yep.
Because games 3 and 4 were so unbelievably competitive. And, you know, game 2, as we talked about, was competitive as well. All 4 of these competitors, though, really good, just great players in this sport. Congratulations to all of them. Congratulations to Team Slovakia on a really good performance, getting to this round, and especially in games 3 and 4, keeping it competitive and just making sure that they at least were not going to go down without a fight. But Team Canada, well-deserved spot in the semifinals as they will take on Sweden for a spot in the championship matchup. These guys, Nuke and Fearless, just among the best in the world, clearly, on their respective consoles.
Yeah, you can kind of see that talent level rise a little bit. The cream rises to the top, and you can kind of see how it goes. And it shows when the pressure is on what can be done. Even after you make some adjustments, I don't think we saw precisely what they can do in games 3 and 4 because they were so well ahead going into those games. The style of play does change as a result of that. Fearless, though, playing out of his mind aggressively for that first period of that second game. That was insane. But yeah, hats off to Team Slovakia. Congratulations, obviously, in order for Team Canada punching their ticket to go into the next round. That is the key there. But we're not done yet, Drew, are we?
No, we are not, because coming up in just a little bit, we are going to be talking with one player from each of these nations to get their thoughts as Team Slovakia wraps up its run in this tournament and Team Canada advances to the next round. So don't go anywhere because those interviews with Nick are coming up in just a moment.
And welcome back to continued 2020 IIHF Esports Fan Championship coverage. Nick DeMeo here alongside with you, and I'm here with one of our representatives from Team Slovakia. I'm here with none other than Lady Brunette. Thank you first and foremost for making some time for us, but unfortunate end to your run here in the tournament today.
Yes, I mean, it's sad. It's really sad, but we did what we could. I think we played good. A bit unlucky some games, but I'm satisfied with our play. So, but I'm still sad. You know, it was just great tournament, and now it's the end. So it's sad.
It is sad. Talk about a little bit though about your way to get here. You beat a lot of players from your country to make it to the quarterfinals. What was that like, and how did it feel representing your country? And as a female player, there aren't many female players that play NHL, making it to this level in the tournament.
It was great. I mean, the qualification was hard for me too, especially the finals. And when I get there, I was just happy that I can represent my own country. I enjoyed so much this whole tournament. So just great feelings I have now. I'm just sad, but it's still great.
It is great indeed. On the other side of the ice, Team Canada, obviously a really strong team with two players that are probably some of the better players in the entire world. Talk about what it was like playing against Nuke there, who's a really good player.
It was insane. I mean, he's so good that it was just impossible to score sometimes against him, because his defense, his offense, everything was just so damn good. I mean, they belong to the best ones. So what can I say? They just proved that they are so strong, so powerful, and they can score from every our mistake. So
you had
insane.
some extra hockey almost there at the end of the game. 3 seconds left. The puck is at the doorstep. You almost tied it. We were all excited for you, and we thought we'd get some overtime hockey, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
Yes, I have to say I hate Markstrom. I have some troubles with him. I can't just score a goal against him. So Markstrom is a beast.
Markstrom is beast indeed. Well, Lady Brunette, thank you for taking some time. An unfortunate end to your run here in the tournament, but congratulations on making this far and representing your country well.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back. And welcome back to more IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship coverage. I'm Nick DeMeo, aka F5 Penguin, and we are wrapping up the quarterfinals segment of this bracket. And I am here with the man who was one half of Team Canada to put his team punch the ticket into the semifinals. I'm talking to Josh Fearless. Josh, thanks for making some time today, sir.
No worries. Let's go. What a big win, eh?
What a big win indeed. Let's dive into it a little bit here. 10 goals for you, 9 for your teammate there in Nuke. What went so well for you in that first game that you were able to walk away with a 5-0 win?
Yeah, I guess I was more prepared. I knew what he was like. We played not really a warm-up game, but we tested the connection and we ended up playing the full game. So I knew he was good. I knew what I had to do against him. I just put a lot of pressure on him early and got the goals quick. I just was really focused, and that's how I got the big lead, and that's how I won 5-0 the first game.
Yeah, that second game, I know it was a little bit different because you were already up by 11 goals, so there wasn't or 9 goals there at that point. So there wasn't as much of a motivation to score, but you were able to still walk away with another win there. In a closer series, though, a little bit on your opponent there. What made him so tough to beat?
Yeah, I mean, in the back of your head, it sucks to say, but in the back of your head, you know you have a 9-goal lead, and you're thinking, all right, I just have to keep it close. So I just kind of get let up mentally and game-wise. So he definitely took advantage of that, scored 2 goals. Once he got the lead 4-3, I got a little competitive. My competitive juices came out, and I was not going to let him win. So I had to fight back a little bit, took a timeout, and we got the finish. We finished it off.
Yeah, we saw the timeout indeed, obviously sweeping the series here against Slovakia. Nevertheless, though, your time to get here, you played the U.S. there in a battle that was a lot closer than some would have thought there. What happened there? You guys got the win, but it was a bit of a challenge in some aspects of that win too, right?
Yeah, listen, they're very good players. It's funny to say, like, me and John actually had worse connection than me and Philemon had, so it was really weird. We definitely faced them a lot closer. They're really tough players, and we just, I don't know, they just matched well. We played them a lot more throughout our lifetime, so they know what we're doing, and we know what they're doing, so very tough.
Well, changing our gears, looking forward, you obviously have your opponent in sight now, Team Sweden. A lot of people have wagered them to be a favorite in this matchup. What's going to be the success for you guys to take them on?
Just coming out early. We know what they're like. I don't know if Nuke's ever played Ekin, and I know I've never played Seb, so it's going to be tough. We just got to come out prepared, come out fast, come out quick, and just try to get a couple early goals on them to overwhelm them, and that's basically our plan.
And obviously, if your plan succeeds, you will go to the finals. Who do you want to face in the finals if you make it there?
Who do I want to face?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this sounds so bad. I would obviously not like to face Finland because they're the tougher team, but that's a baby way out. So I'm gonna say we'd like to face Finland. We'll go head to head for content.
I like it. The competitive. I knew you had a little competitive nature in you, Josh. So I had to ask the question because I was curious what you were gonna say there, and I'm gonna poke the bear a little bit more here. During the game, we talked about the fact that you and Nuke actually played each other, and I believe if the little birdie tells me Nuke beat you, so of the 2 players that are arguably 2 of the top 5 in the world, is he the better NHL player than you?
Okay, here we go. Okay, just to know, I had a backdoor one-timer with 30 seconds left to go up 3-1. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I will say this though, Nuke has performed, I would say, a little bit better than me throughout the year. Do I think he's a better player? I'm never gonna say that. I don't think anyone's a better player. So we'll see. We'll see
indeed. We joked a little bit about you guys doing a tournament after this ends, just you 2, 4-game aggregate, and see how that goes. I figured, I don't know if you'd be down for having that, and then if you need some casters, you know where to go.
Yeah, right. I heard you guys. What I was thinking is if I go up game 3, I'm disappearing after that. No game 4. I'll take the win and just leave.
Well, nevertheless, congratulations for you is in order, and obviously for your teammate Nuke, and you guys move on to the semifinals. Congratulations there, and best of luck to you in the next round, Josh.
Thank you so much. Hey, Sandra, send those digits, baby. All right, take it easy.
We'll be back.
Welcome back. Those interviews, absolutely awesome. IIHF 2020 Esports Fan Championship, and then there were 4. We are down to just the semifinals. 3 total series left, and you can see on the updated bracket here, it is going to be Canada versus Sweden. It's going to be Russia versus Finland. We've got a chance for an all-Nordic championship if the teams on the bottom half of your screen can pick up a win. But this is going to be, these are the final 4 in this tournament, and I think clearly these are definitely probably the 4 best. I know I said definitely probably. These are, in all likelihood, the 4 best teams that we've got to this point. I don't know if we've got necessarily a Cinderella type team going. I think any of these teams could dominate and really control. These guys are just all outstanding.
I love that we end the broadcast with what we said at the beginning, and then there were 4. 2 claps.
Symbol of excellence.
And a Ric Flair. Nevertheless, though, this is going to be one heck of a matchup here that we're going to be talking about on Friday. We got 2 great matchups, 4 great teams, and we could have that Nordic finals that you were alluding to. But in the way of that is going to be Serg and the team of Russia versus not versus, but also stopping them is going to be what we just talked to, Josh and Nuke. So they're not going to go lying down to let that happen by no stretch of it, especially after I just talked to Josh. He is really hyper competitive. He's not going to take it lying down whatsoever.
Yeah, I got the sense he was kind of a competitive person with the way that conversation was going and everything. Love the discussion of him with Nuke too. It's just the response when he knew what direction you were going in that question. Because we had talked about like maybe ask him, maybe we hold off, and I could tell with the way, with the way that went, and just to see his reaction when he knew what you were about to ask about the fact that they played head to head in one of the play-in tournaments for Canada. But yeah, it's going to be some amazing competition. Canada, Sweden, Russia, Finland. We've already been treated to some amazing esports hockey here, and we've got the 3 best matchups still to come in this tournament. And that, for anyone who's been watching, should really make you go, wow, because we do have probably the 3 most competitive matchups still to come. We've got Canada versus Sweden. We've got Russia versus Finland. Probably the biggest test that any of them have faced, maybe shy of Canada and the US being the only other one that's kind of in that group, definitely in that contention for being one of the more competitive on paper matchups going into a series. But we've got a lot of really good hockey to look forward to, and still cross my fingers that we get to see one of those golden goal situations play out, because I would just love to see it happen.
Would you like to see it happen in the finals?
Oh man, that would be oh man,
with each game going like 3-3, and then it's 3-3, and then golden goal, and then it could be a really heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching, heart rate and rising inducing moment. I don't know. If we could write the story, that's what I would write.
Right. From a neutral observer's perspective, yes, that is what I want. I want to see not only that, but I then want to see the golden goal scored, but there still technically be time left on the clock in the other game where you play it out for maybe 30 to 45 seconds of real time, where you know that one team's going to win unless
and then they score, and then they score instead, and it's the other way. Oh my God. This is why this format's amazing.
Yes. There's a lot still to happen. There's a lot that could happen. We've seen some amazing things. I'm still not over that slap pass goal that we saw in game number 3 today. we've seen a lot of great hockey already, amazing competitors from all around the world, and we are down to the final 4 teams and the final 8 competitors, and definitely down to some amazing competition still to come in the final 3 series of this tournament. Really looking forward to that, Nick.
I am too, and I might be a little bit biased, but while we're done here today, some of the most exciting news is to come. We're not going to be done for this coverage.
Nope. No, we are coming back. We got one of the 2 semifinal games that we will be here for you for that one. Really excited to see this tournament all the way through and be able to broadcast, of course, with you, my friend Nick, to just get this going and be able to do another series with you. That's going to be an absolute blast. And we've called games for some of these teams already, so it's going to be nice to be able to kind of follow them through to the semifinals and see who is able to punch their ticket to the championship matchup of this tournament.
Soon there will be 2, but first there are 4. And if my fourth grade math serves me correctly, that is going to be half of the teams will remain after this semifinals round. And I, for one,
calculator.
Yep. Can you check the abacus for a second?
No, my abacus is in the shop. Sorry.
Got
But,
it. And you should
I
get
said
that repaired.
calculator, and I just pulled up my phone. So
So
that's just
2020 is so weird. Nevertheless, though, I'm excited. I'm glad that we could bring this to you. And at the end of this all, Canada moves on to take on Sweden, and that's going to be great.
Absolutely. We're really looking forward to seeing that matchup, Canada versus Sweden. Also excited to see Russia versus Finland in the other semifinal match. But for now, that is going to do it here for myself, Drew Goldfarb, and for my broadcast partner, my good friend, Nick DeMeo. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we will see you in the semis.